I would not be a good farmer. I couldn't even call
Like
it.
this, round, around, round, round. There you go.
Am I hitting it with the right part?
No.
You're supposed to hit it with this thing? Come and endure it! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on this Saturday morning. It is December 7th, 2024, a day that will live in infamy and INFAYOU. It's the Days Gone By program of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, our in-studio recorded applause audience, and my darling and adorable wife.
The dim, no?
What, the visual? Yeah, I'm trying to work with
Put
this.
the light on there.
Yeah, I might have to do that. This I think will help
Yeah.
a little bit. Hold on. Let me add a little bit of
Oh. I didn't
put a little light on the subject. Hold on. We can do this. Whoa. Check that out. Or,
Yeah.
there we go.
Is
Stop that up.
better?
That'll help. That'll give us a little,
Yeah, sometimes it gives a little boosty.
oh, no, I'm all sort of washed out there. There.
Good.
There. Some weird lighting today
I know.
on the Dave's Gone By. So I wanted to try something else. I was basically too lazy to get the bigger ring light, so this one was already here.
Get you the big
No.
one?
No, I'm good.
I'll get it for you, honey.
No, thank you, sweetie. Ooh. Okay, oh, there you go. Anyway, as I said, I'm telling you, we're going to have my old flame. You don't have to watch it. You can close your eyes.
Compensate by opening. This is a very large miniverse one here.
Okay, well, let's explain. Do you want to tell people what
This
miniverse...
is not what I really like. I'm not an influencer. They don't give me nothing free, which is sad.
So, my wife has gotten, over the past bunch of weeks, into these little dollhouse-style miniatures of furniture and brandy things and stuff you'll buy and well, like electronic sort of goodies, but they're tiny, like made for dollhouses. So it's called the Zuru Miniverse, but this one is.
This is the lesser one. I like Zuru.
Zuru makes.
Zuru's different. They make the home stuff. Miniverse is another company. It's like M something. MGA or MTA.
So it's this company they put these things in little balls. If you've ever had little balls, you know how delightful they can be. And
I'll show you the next step. I'm going to rip it off and not open it so you can see it.
so people rip off the covers of these balls, if you will, and you will, and then they get to this white ball inside, right? Oh, or no, it's like here. This one, normally there's a white ball. This is more like I don't know, it looks like a coconut.
This is
to
the
me.
one where they have like plants and veg. And
Yeah,
I'm
so-
hoping for a birdhouse or like a Zen garden.
So my wife has really gotten into these. It's like a fun little
Just
hobby.
tap it.
Sure. And what you're supposed to do before you really open,
We do that though. I don't know if everyone does that.
yeah, they do it on the feed
they
when you
do?
watch it.
Okay,
They do like they tap it on the top,
Just for luck.
they tap it in the bottom, and if they're gay, they put their finger all the way in. But then, you know, you just kind of do you kiss it or anything like that?
Do you want me to put another light?
Does it look that bad?
I feel like sometimes when I talk to people in this room on Zoom and it's daylight, it looks so dark and good daylight. And they'll say, "Oh, do you have the lights on?" And I'm like, "Yes, I have all my lights on."
All right,
Let me
so
try this one. Here.
we're gonna grab
This.
yeah, I can pop that in over there. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of natural warmer
And
light.
maybe take off the little stick light.
Yeah, well, it'll make me look like a ghoul. Hold
The
on.
stick light, yeah.
That could be part of Ghouls Gone Wild, ladies and gentlemen. There we go.
Be careful. Maybe turn off that stick light.
Oh,
That's
turn it off. Hold on. There we go. That goes down.
All the way.
On everyone?
All the way.
All right, hold on. And
Is that better? That looks better.
yeah, it's a more natural, kind of a warmer
like
light.
Could you hand me my thing?
Oh, all right. So here is this Miniverse. It's not Zuru. It's whoever makes Miniverse. The idea is she's going to open it, and there's going to be a couple of items inside, either a bird with a bird bath or a plant with sort of a hangy, planty kind of a thing. So here you go, babe. She's going to open it, and she'll hand me the results. Then they come in these little pre-wrapped packages. So the idea is you're getting little surprises.
David, I think I got the Zen garden.
All right, okay.
Let's don't open it though. I'm gonna give you maybe not.
Find your mini happy place.
I bet you it's the Zen.
I think that would be my penis. Serenity now.
I wanted the Zen garden. I bet you that's it.
Well, it says now in Zen Serenity Garden.
It's okay. So this one here. might be small, but you could show them. It's this one.
Here's my penis. All right, let me see.
Give me that. Give me that part.
All right, there we go.
I'll make it. I'll assemble it.
So apparently, is this
Oh,
thing?
David, you got me a great one.
Oh yeah, we sent away for a Target order, and
It was on Black Friday.
Yes.
See, look at it. Look. Oh, it's the like when you scoop in sand to calm yourself.
Yeah, when I'm a child,
It
when we're
has
at the beach. Yeah.
And then I'll put the sand in it. You could show them the pieces. This is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rake.
yeah.
It's the rake and the bridge.
So essentially, it's like a mini version of life, and this is a mini version of sort of a Zen thing. You have a little bridge.
Why would there be a plant in it?
And look at this.
Oh, look, David.
What?
This is the little
Yeah.
flower.
Oh, pretty. I can't reach. Here we go.
And then I gotta put the sand in it. It gave me instructions. It says
So-
now Zen.
So look, for my birthday I got a rake, although I'd rather have a hoe. And then pretty little flower.
Here's the sand and some rocks. I'll put that in. You can see it. I'll put that in, but you can see it.
And what you're supposed to do is you literally fill the sandbox with sand and with rocks, many sort of fake rocks, and it gives you your own little
And here,
plaything.
tweezers to adjust it.
And keep them all together and put them in.
I'm gonna put
Keep
it
them in the
together.
bowl. Yeah, yeah.
I can't get the tweezers at home. They'll give me instructions.
And then it even gives you like little plasticky tweezers.
This is so lovely. It's my favorite one.
Yay!
Beside the birds, it's my other one I wanted.
So Mazel Tov. We got a good, excuse me, a good package, as it
It
were.
doesn't show you how to do it, but
Really?
No, not
Is that the only booklet? Maybe they usually have like
at all.
5
No,
booklets
there's
in
no
those things.
booklets. This is just yeah, but
All right, here we go. Don't drop it. I'm just handing this back to the wife. There we go.
whoops. Okay, I'm gonna make it in this little tray. This is so cute. I love this.
Yay! All right.
This flower is really gorgeous. They do such a nice job with the flowers,
Those are pretty. Well, the whole point is they're supposed to be lifelike. If you make a Black & Decker power saw,
No,
which
this
they
is
do.
a different company.
I know it's different, but when
Yeah.
they make these kinds of things.
Yeah. Oh, you got your chair. You're gonna tell them about your chair.
Yeah. Okay. So we did.
Because I gave you the mini chair. The reason I thought of it is I gave you the mini chair to match your chair.
Oh, well, yeah, the little baby chair that they have here. So what my wife is talking about is, yes, even though we were on last week, the day after Black Friday, we didn't really talk about our shopping stuff because we did most of our shopping online that weekend.
Well, we didn't receive the
Yeah.
shopping stuff. We couldn't talk about it because we didn't receive it,
So among the things so we bought some stuff at Target, which was just Target-y stuff like, tea pods and tea bags. And you've got your Refresh eye syrup, or what do they call that? The
Eye drops?
eye drops. Yeah, that's important. So all our usual Target order, that wasn't really a Black Friday thing, but I got it into my. I don't know why. You know why? I think we went somewhere like a month ago, and we had rice with my meal.
No,
That was-
we were at the Turkish Thanksgiving.
No, that was already later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure, because I had already wanted to look for. I wanted to buy a rice cooker. I wanted, I'd been eating. So it was either a Chinese place or maybe the Indian place. I was like, rice is so good. You forget how nice rice is. Maybe Asian people don't, but I don't really think of rice that much. It's a starchy thing. It's so tasty.
When we had Indian food or see, look.
Yeah.
I wanna. It's hard to do that.
Oh, she's gonna try. Do you want to try doing that on camera?
No, just you can
I know
see
if I
what
do it,
looks
it'll go all over the place. I
just
will ruin
see
it.
what it looks like.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Just don't tilt it too much.
Right. I was going to bring it up to the camera, and there you are. Look at that. All right. Good. Okay. So, like, you know what? I'm not a chef. I don't really cook. I cook a little bit, but damn it, rice should be so simple. And
Booklet, honey? Oh, never mind. I don't need it.
and why not just get a rice? It should be cheap. And what you do is take rice.
I had one that's really great. You could do pasta. You could do a lot of stuff in it too,
Yeah.
not just rice.
Because granted, you can take a thing of boiling water and put rice in it.
It's
But you
I
have to
make my
drain the
oatmeal.
shit and
It's
everything.
like I make my oatmeal.
Yes. So it's a pain in the butt. I'd rather just put a certain amount of water, put a certain amount of rice, wait a little bit, and boom,
We have
rice.
to get rice then. We don't have rice.
So buy
We
rice.
could also do beans, dry beans too.
And do in the same thing?
Yeah,
Is it a bean cooker?
Yeah.
Oh, they should charge double because it does rice
so.
and beans. Probably does. There's no. So I'm like,
David, if this one's a bird, it would be heaven. It's going to be a flower.
did you tell? Well, you tap it later, right?
When I take off this.
Cause my wife bought 2 of these bowl
They were
things.
$2.69 on sale on Black Friday. They're normally like $6.99.
Yeah. Or Walgreens, these things are like 10. So, well, not Walgreens. There's another place that charges much more.
No, it's you're confusing all the types. Every type of these, the home ones cost different than this.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, good. Well, yeah. No, but I was just at a place where it was like $9.99 for. I think it was the home ones, maybe. But I was like, you know what? I want a rice. Why not? Even if I use it twice a year, because I'm not gonna pay $300 for a rice cooker. I just want a little thing. Like crock pots are so cheap. How much can it be for a rice cooker? And there are $300 Japanese rice cookers because I guess they take their rice ultra seriously.
It probably is very good. Like, when we lived in New York, I had one. It's like juicers and blenders. You know, they all do the basic thing, but there's like the super blenders that cook food while heating. I mean, it's like, you know, like KitchenAid appliances are supposed to be really like good. Like they just do. Sometimes they do a better job. Yeah,
no, but this isn't KitchenAid. I'm talking like Jukabubi rice cooker made in Japan. And it cleans your house while making
it probably makes the rice more moist.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it does a fabulous job. I do not need that, right? But I'm casting about for a rice cooker, trying to keep it under $20, just because and because it's Black Friday. I figure, I could buy this any other time, but if I buy the rice cooker right now, I'm going to save 20-25%, whatever it is. And so I cast about and looked about, and so the rice cooker came a day. I haven't used it yet. But I'm going to.
Let's get rice.
I'm going to make rice. Oh, yes, I'm going to try beans.
Rice would be a good side dish.
Yeah, because I never have a side. I'm very bad about that. When I was a kid, Mom would always make sure that we have a lot of meat, which was great. She believed in steak and she believed in chicken and stuff. But it was like if you had steak, there was a side of spinach or corn or peas and carrots. So you had the meat with like the healthy stuff. You had the chicken with the stuff that you should eat because you're a growing boy and we're a growing family and so forth. But as an adult, I'm like, I grab my entree and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have my entree and then my side will be the snack I'm going to have an hour later. The side is going to be like the potato chips or the chocolate covered raisins that I'm going to have later in my life. I don't need, it's not like if I had the side, I would eat it, but I don't want to bother with the side. So the only time I'll have a side is like if my wife will make vegetables as her main course, like she'll broccoli and cauliflower, or if she'll make beans, I'll have some because she can't have the whole thing. So that'll be, and I will have a legitimate actual vegetable side and feel like I'm being healthy for once in my life. Most of the time, no. I want steak. I'm gonna have some steak. My side will be ketchup and A1 sauce, 2 sides. Healthy ketchup has tomato in it. A1 sauce has vinegar. Let me tap this. Okay, here we go. And so,
why don't you open it on the air, see what's in there?
You want me to open it?
Yes, yeah.
All right, watch, I'll be bad luck. Here we go.
Hand it to me. It's probably flowers.
Okay, so you open this thing up.
Give me the top.
You put this on.
No.
Chinese yarmulke.
They're not Asian. They're Australian.
All right. So here, what you have is a thing full of wrapped present-y kinds of things. So I'm going to hand you the first item, which you can unwrap. Probably a plant.
Well, it's probably, this is the tweezers. So these are the tweezers, David.
Well, it won't be another Zen garden, will it?
No, the tweezers come with, it's a shovel, so it's going to be a plant because it's a shovel.
All right.
I got a shovel with it's got some.
Maybe it's a corpse, so you have to bury it or something.
No, it's a shovel.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a plant. There we go. It's a sun-grown plant, so I have to put it in a window.
I hope it's a ficus. What's the one?
Ooh, a ficus!
Okay, let's see what that is.
Ficus, we can't take a joke.
This is dirt, so it's got tan bark mix. Ooh, it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to be a I don't know the name of the flower. You have to look.
All right, well, here's this. Oh, it sort of came
David.
open. It's
gorgeous. Let's see.
There we go.
We don't have this one.
Good. Okay. It is pretty.
Ooh, I don't know.
This is a poppy?
But no.
This is Happy Grace. Grow? No. Happy Grow C Sharp. Oh, Grow Company. Happy. Yes, this is why I wear reader glasses. Happy Grow Company from this here. So yeah, all right, not a bad haul for sending away for these.
Handing me the stuff.
But that's what the fun of it is you don't know what is going to be in it until
there.
Yeah, it's just a box.
Could you also hand me the container?
Oh, container. You just have the booklets.
The paper.
Yeah.
I want to see what kind of flowers these are.
Oh, would it be on? It would be on this. Hold on.
Whoa! Look at this one.
Oh, it's got a nice pot too.
Yeah.
Just give me a mo, or I'll tell you in a mo. Hold on, I guess it'll all be on this side, won't it? Maybe they're
pink, David.
Well, could be poppies.
No.
They could. Oh, maybe they're these. They're pink ground or something. I can't even read what is this. Pink orchids. Are those orchids?
No. Are they? Yeah. Maybe I'll give it to Naya. I'll give it to our admin. She'll put it together.
All right. It's appropriate for me because I had crypt orchid syndrome. I got to bring one of my nuts down when I was a kid. Well, I thought you liked it. What's wrong?
I do, but orchids, she studied them in school, so I'll give her orchids.
Got it. Cool. So, anyway, so I got my stuff. I haven't used it yet. Would love any of your suggestions, etc., or opinions on properly using a rice cooker in order to cook rice and other things. It'll be fun. Just to try out. I want things simple. I don't mind cooking something, but I don't want it to take all day. I don't want it even to take like half an hour. I want to say, oh, I'm going to take some rice, flip, almost like making popcorn. You put the thing in, you go flip, you hit a button, boom. And then when you're done, you pour it out. Hot, yummy rice that you can use as a side or put stuff on. Great. Cool. Very happy so far. So that was, yeah. We live big, ladies and gentlemen. It was Black Friday. We splurged, and actually we did splurge, or at least I splurged on this Black Friday because I got a chair. Because my wife is a great studier of my behavior minute to minute.
I knew every aspect of that man's life because we've been looking at it for 9 months.
Because every time we go into Staples,
maybe more than 9 months. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for probably almost a year or so.
Yeah.
We would go into Staples, and just for the hell of it, because we're usually in there trading or getting trading back ribbon cartridges for the printers, or getting the printer cartridge, or sometimes some a little bit of office stuff that we buy there, and we like looking around. She's still looking for a whiteboard to kind of use at home, or maybe even in the office. And I like poking around Staples. It's more interesting for me to poke around a Best Buy or a Staples than it is, because I'm a man, than to go to the usual clothing stores or things like that. So we're poking around, and I always go to the chairs. Because I love, I sit at a desk all the time at home, and I'm working, I'm writing, I'm grading, and I like a nice, cushy chair. I feel like I'm a magnate, a potentate in my chair. And what was lovely when we bought this house is that the folks who lived here left us a great, wonderful chair that I've been using in my office at home. And it works fine. It's a nice color, but it's been around. It's been kicked around. It's cracking in the leather. It's or I don't probably having real leather, but it's peeling a bit. It looks like it's been through, even though it's still a perfectly wonderful, serviceable chair. But yet, when we go to Staples and I see that they've got chairs for $80, $100, $120 brand new, hydraulic, they lift, they tilt, They're soft. It's reasonably well made. You know, it's one of those things where I'm surprised at how cheap a piece of furniture can be. Usually, I'm shocked at how expensive things can. Usually, I look at it, it's like, you know, $300 for the. I just went to the garage and had sticker shock again, right, for our car. So when I see something it's like winter coats and desk chairs, office chairs.
Are you live?
I should be live. Should be streaming on Facebook. Are you not reloading? It's not showing me?
Is this you?
Yeah, me. So I'm always surprised that you can get a really nice quality, warm winter coat for $120, less sometimes. Because I go, well, this is a quote, you wear it for years, it's really warm. Why isn't that $300-400? That doesn't, you know, I'm thrilled. It's delightful for me as a Jewish person. But yeah, okay. And then office chairs too. I mean, this is when you buy a piece of furniture, you go to a Lazy Boy, you go to these other companies, you go to Amish furnishings, and you buy even a cabinet, or it's hundreds of dollars. So to see a good, solid, nice chair, comfortable chair that will last you for years, and it's 120, 130 bucks, fine, sure. So I go every time we go to Staples. I'm automatically making a beeline. And I'm like, hon, I'm just looking. I don't want to buy anything. I just want to look. I want to sit in them. I want to see how I feel in the various chairs, right? And just go from one to one. And I don't like these gaming chairs. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're comfortable. I'm sure I should have gotten one because I'm always sitting. And that's what gamers do. They're there for hours on end. And they need something that's good for their scoliotic spine or something. But I'm like, no. Just want a nice, good, happy chair for me to put my tuchus in and be there. So I go, and I've narrowed myself down to like 2 or 3 that they always have on display. And they're also brown, because I love the color brown. I have a brown desk in my room. I got a brown filing cabinet. Brown to me is my favorite color, and it means solidity and earth and wood. I love the color. And it's the color of an office to me. It's a color of an office from the 1800s, right? You know, where Henry James would sit on his desk and work. Yeah, you know, that's the color for me. So I'm always, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm looking around. A couple of weeks ago, we go again to Staples. And I'm narrowing my focus, because there's one chair that you sit down, and it's the most comfortable thing in the world. You lean back, and your back just goes, but it's also not maybe the best chair for working, because, you know, I don't work like this. You're supposed to be sitting up and working, so that chair would be great for lounging, but not necessarily for right now. So I'm making these calculations in my head, and this chair is $110. This chair is $200, and then there's a Lazy Boy that's like $300 because it's freaking Lazy Boy. So we go a couple of weeks ago. And my wife looks at me looking at these things, and she's like, okay, you want them? You want them? Like, so I asked the guy, you know, we're 2 weeks away from Labor Day, from excuse me, from Thanksgiving. Are there going to be, is there a this, is there a that? And he says, well, yeah, probably. There'll be a sale, a bit, of a couple of these on Black Friday. Or that weekend. Oh, you know what? I think we might can do my old flame. Hold on. Do we have phlegm? Hold on. I'm sorry, folks. That was a phlegmless
focus.
cough.
Show them the picture. Focus and show them the picture. You have the picture of you eating the meat on my phone, so you can show them that.
We're just taking a Mission Barbecue moment.
Yeah, and you can show them the picture. Give me my phone. I'll show you.
Here.
Show the picture of you in the car eating the phone. Eating the steak.
Here it goes. So, I'm sorry. There's still phlegm in here, and if it comes up, I will share it with you, and I will do my predictions in a segment that we've begun calling My Old Phlegm. But if that doesn't happen, we have other things to do on the show. But here's me at Mission Barbecue, because they brought back their Black Plate special of smoked prime rib. Yes, yes, my friends. Mission Barbecue is again fulfilling its mission of giving me meat. This is that is the real mission of it. It's not to help veterans.
That's the mission of Mission Barbecue.
I don't care about first responders. Their mission is to provide Dave with meat I like to eat.
Do they know you? You said something.
Oh, of course, half the people there know me. Some of them even know my name, except when I stopped coming in for a couple of weeks when they changed their Black Plate special away from meat to shrimp, or they did a lovely one with chicken. It was great, but it's like I don't come to Mission Barbecue for chicken. I don't come there for salmon. I don't come there for a burger even. I come there because you do a steak or a prime rib for like $15, and I sit there, I eat it, and I come in my pants. That's why I go to Mission Barbecue, right? So don't mess with your Black Plate special. Give me the meat
Show them all the
I
pictures.
crave.
Wait,
Wait, I was still talking about a chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So we go like 2 weeks ago to
What is it called? The Winston?
is that the Lazy Boy Winston.
Lazy Boy Winston Tall Edition. Well, I found, remember, on that site, I've never seen it.
Oh, Mercari, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But we go on Black Friday weekend to Staples because my wife is like, "You want the chair?" And I'm like, "I don't need the chair. I really don't need the chair." And she says, "You want the freaking chair? Get the goddamn chair."
This is on Amazon. You can hit 360 view and give them a 360 view of your chair if you want.
So here, this is the Lazy Boy Winston. So I come back. I go back to Staples on that, and I was like, "Okay, what you got?" And now I'm like, "We're probably going to get." It's like getting a puppy. It's like he wants the. We're just gonna look. No, you're not gonna fucking look. You're gonna buy a chair.
Is he looking at that chair again?
Yeah, but I wasn't even looking at this. I was looking at the Staples brown one.
No, you weren't. That was your second.
You know what? Because this one looked like this is a beautiful chair, visually a beautiful chair. It's brown everywhere, which I except the wheels. It's a beautiful brown chair. I'll do the here's our 360 view of the chair. Look at it.
And you could go to all of them and go around and.
You can swivel. Look at you. I can swivel my chair.
That's exactly what you do.
Which is something I never do. I go to those sides. Nobody ever actually.
Well, we can get you today. We can get you a mat for underneath it if you want
We
to.
might try that.
Put the rug up.
Yeah.
You want that,
yeah, because I've had that other chair on the rug for 2 years, but so is this brown?
Yeah.
I think this one's in black, but I got mine in brown.
No, it's brown. It just looks dark.
It just looks really dark on that thing. Yeah. So I'm deciding between two chairs. One is the Staples brand chair, which is very comfortable. It's also brown. It looks really nice, and it's about $150. But then the bastards have this Lazy Boy chair nearby, brown, gorgeous. I just showed you. Probably a bit sturdier construction, but you're also paying for the Lazy Boy name. And it was really double the cost of the Staples chair. But my wife is like, "It's Thanksgiving, it's Black Friday, you want it, I'm like, "But I have a chair." But she knows I'm like being passive aggressive. She knows I want the fucking chair.
Even the man, he said he's been looking at that for quite some time. He looked at me, he said, "Go online, get something cheaper, and I'll match the price for you."
Which he did. This fellow was like, because they knew I was doddering. I did not want to pay $300 for a chair when I could get one for like $100. But my brilliant wife and I guess this brilliant salesperson go on. She finds this place called Mercari, which doesn't have the best.
Ali, A-L-I.
Mercari, is that it?
A-L-I, Ali.
Ali. Oh, it's Alibaba.
Alibaba,
Yeah, they've been around for a couple of years too.
I never heard of it.
Not the best reviews in terms of, but they're still there. And
are
they BBB accredited?
What? I don't know, but we didn't order from them.
No. But he said we'll match.
I screenshot it. I said to him, "I'll screenshot it." He said, "I've seen it. You're fine."
It's one of those places that will be $50 cheaper than every other place.
$79 cheaper.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got $79 off.
From the cost of what? So they saved us.
And you had $18 in
Staples credits too. So the guy matched. Staples matter. They said, oh, you found it on that website for $80 almost than we were charging here. We'll match it.
Are you sure you're live?
I can check. I hope I am.
Because I don't see it on the.
Is there a problem with Safari or whatever? Let me check. I'm just going to check, folks, that we're live and you're enjoying me on Zoom. I hope you are. I should be. Let me get to my page. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever had bear. Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I gotta try myself. I don't feedback and stuff. Okay. Unless I wasn't, I accidentally killed it before, but I don't think I did. I'm there. So so we're like, okay. I'm like in my usual passive aggressive. Like I have another chair. A chair I've been using. It's been wonderful. I don't know what the hell to do with it. It's now in my room by the window because I now have two chairs, one of which is perfectly good, just old looking, and then this lazy boy chair.
We have insurance, puncture insurance.
Yeah, I mean, they get you. They get you. If I accidentally do something to it, I spill, God forbid, something on it, or something gets into it, we did get like fairly inexpensive coverage. So as my mom would say, it's like brand new thing, live and enjoy, right? So it's like, we got it. We got a chair. The guy put it together same day, called and picked it up like next day, brought it back in our trunk. I was terrified. I was trying to get it in the trunk, have it not get all scratched up and stuff, and get it out of the trunk, up to the house, into the room. We did it. It's a lovely chair. It's fine. I want to adjust it a little bit so the back goes a little further up because I got a pillow that's kind of pushing me forward on it. But just like on my old chair. But it's a beautiful piece of chairness. So do I regret paying a little extra dough for something beautiful? No. I can't say that. In the long run, if I have this chair for 5, 10, 20, something, I'll probably have this chair for the rest of my life. This chair will outlive me at this point, because when you're 60, you start thinking like that. It's like, I'm going to buy something, and is this going to be like my last thing of this that I will ever purchase? Like, we have a car, we bought a car like 5 years ago. Occasionally, we have to bring it into, Subaru to get stuff done. And I'm thinking that won't be, we'll probably move at some point, and then we'll sell the car, we'll get another car where we are, and that'll be like my last pre-death car. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. But anything, I don't foresee myself buying another rice cooker. I paid $20 for it, or $22 for a rice cooker on Black Friday, so I got a good one. And I make rice, I'll use it a few times, and then I'll die. There's not going to be, I'm not going to get so addicted to making rice that, this rice cooker will conk out after 4 years, and I'm going to have to get another darn rice. No, it's going to be my rice cooker that will be buried with me in Mount Shoylam Cemetery, in whatever town we're in. Right? A lot of things now. I start to I bought a shaver. I got on Black Friday. I finally found a Braun shaver at a reasonable price, right? Because I've been using Braun electric shavers forever. So I got a Braun shaver. That will be my secondary. Just in case my shaver goes, I've got one to replace it. It's a good one, right? And I got a really good price. That I'm assuming, I don't know. Braun shavers last a long time. The motor eventually burns out, and you start dealing with the replacement heads. Everybody recommends don't just get a new one. So I have a new one. My current one will probably, God willing, last 2 or 3 more years. I'll start using the new one. That could take me until my stroke. That could get me through my fatal heart attack. Like I bought my final electric shaver, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe. There could be one more Braun in my future. Like if I've got a nurse hovering over me when I'm 84. God, as if. And then she's like, your old razor died. We had to get a new one. And she's like, getting the things near my staples in my throat or something. And it's like, okay. Maybe I'm not on my last razor.
Do you know Dick Van Dyke signed something with Coldplay?
Oh yeah, we can't play it, but have you heard it? Did you
No.
listen? No, I. Why?
Is it good?
I haven't. No, I haven't heard it. I'm saying you mentioned it
I
yesterday.
just saw it. I can't play it. I just saw it here, but we can't play it.
Now, speaking of Dick Van Dyke, you know he's what, 89 years old or older? How old is he? He's 98, I think. I can't.
Show it. Let's see.
So one of the reasons I want to do this is our guest today is an octogenarian.
You can say without any music.
So let's see what this looks like.
Is Dick Van Dyke?
Yes, it is.
He's walking into his home, around home.
He's probably not going to. Well, maybe he will sing.
He sings, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, no, he was a perfectly good Broadway type performer. It's just, will he sing a Coldplay song?
Who thought that he was in love with the guy from Coldplay? I thought he was dating Dakota Fanning.
Dick Van Dyke, he was. Should be.
No, I mean the Coldplay guy, but now Dick Van Dyke likes him.
Oh, there's Dick Van Carl Reiner. Look, it's like what does this have to do with Coldplay? It's the life of Dick Van Dyke. Please tell me he's not.
No, I think it's meant to be honoring him. Like Coldplay likes him, they want to do something with him.
Well, he was great. What is this? It's just, you know what? This is like the Johnny Cash video, where it shows all these old pictures of Johnny Cash and June Carter.
You're hurt.
Yeah. And now this is Coldplay's version of. Yeah.
No, he's singing. See, he's singing.
Dick Van Dyke is singing.
But we can see him singing with the Coldplay guy. See, they're singing. They're singing probably in his backyard or something.
Oh, we need to. Wow.
All that, he still couldn't keep Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well, Dick Van Dyke doesn't need to be fixed. He's fine. You know, that's pretty. Wow.
I know. I'd like to see it. Let me just hear one. I want to put on.
Yeah, we put it on volume for like a moment just to hear what it is. That's Dick Van Dyke.
So what it is Dick Van Dyke is.
He's narrating aspects of his life while Coldplay is singing.
So what it is that the comments say that Coldplay is playing tribute to Dick Van Dyke while he's alive, and it's nice to see him showing pictures rather than death. Yes.
Yeah, they should have done this for Betty White.
Everybody.
Abe Vigoda. Where's the Coldplay Abe Vigoda video? What?
She's dead. There's a stamp for her, I saw.
Yay! See? And remember when Conan O'Brien used to decorate the Vigoda for the holidays? They would have Abe Vigoda standing there and they would adorn him with ornaments and tinsel. That was a beautiful thing. Yes, they did that. So every year it would be decorating the Vigoda. It was a great cultural moment.
I like that.
Yeah. By the way, it's, oh my God, it's 20 to 10 Eastern Time.
I know you could decorate. Is that like Elf on a Shelf?
Yeah, it's the pagoda on the pagoda, kind of. Gesundheit. There we go. Let me tell, because in only 20 minutes we're going to be having our guest in the neighborhood, and it's perfect lead-in because my wife was talking about Dick Van Dyke, who is 98.
Oh, look, Peter Honorati, it's his brother's birthday.
Oh, my mazel.
I love these old photos like this.
Peter Honorati was our guest in the neighborhood about a month and a half ago. He's an actor. He's done a ton of things.
He was your friend from
from Playboy.
No,
from Working
McCall,
Woman, Working Mother, and McCall's Magazine. I'm sorry, that's right. Where was I? Yes, in Dick Van Dyke is 98. Our guest in the neighborhood today is 89 years old, and he's a guy who has had quite a life. He spent a chunk of his life in promotion and marketing and advertising, both in the United States, and he was called to head up, I think it was J. Walter Thompson or something like that, an ad bureau in Argentina. So he had a very, very nice career for a bunch of years, but he's also done acting, and now he's done quite a bit of writing. He's got a couple of novels out, as well as a couple of recent books about, well, growing old well, because he's old, he's 89, but in knockwood, apparently really great shape. His name is James B. Flaherty, Jim Flaherty, and he just has this personality. I talked to him a couple of months ago, about coming on the show. And he's just got this spirit and this playfulness that should be a lot of fun for the great Rabbi Saul Solomon
Do you think you
to
could do
talk to.
something like maybe Coldplay and Dick Van Dyke, where you could do some singing, maybe some kind of like narrative?
Maybe, well, Rabbi Saul could do like a Jewish spiritual hymn or prayer, and we can have Jim Flaherty narrate his life to that.
Yeah.
This would be a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. It would be not perhaps as well known as Coldplay or Dick Van Dyke, but Rabbi Saul and Jim Flaherty together, talking with each other, sharing Flaherty's life, his career. Going to be really, really cool stuff. For example, here's one question that.
How do you know? It's not, but he didn't speak to him yet, right?
No. It's going to be happening in 20 minutes live on the program. Do you know who the commencement speaker at Jim Flaherty's college graduation was?
Ooh.
Richard M. Nixon.
Come on.
I kid you not.
I was disappointed I had a Yankee baseball player as my
Yeah, you had my wife, of all people, because this was at Fordham, right?
Yeah, this is Fordham, and it ran out Bronx, baby.
Yeah, so of all the people they get Dave Winfield, who was at wasn't it Winfield?
No.
The guy who was manager of the Yankees.
No.
Who was it then? It wasn't Joe Torre.
It was a player. I don't know the player's name. He was an older player.
Wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was when you were there. But when my wife...
You were sitting with the Albanian Mafia. You were praying for your life.
No, but that was the indoor thing. The actual outdoor camp... Winfield wasn't there for that. Winfield was...
No, there was an outdoor one.
Yeah.
Outdoor speaker.
That's
David,
where...
I'll tell you, I never was more afraid in my life than walking down, looking for you, and seeing you sitting in the front with the Albanian Mafia. I was like, oh no.
Well, why do you think they would kill me?
Happy. No, they're like, because you couldn't find a seat. And you said they were so nice they gave you a seat.
Yeah. Because their daughter or their son...
Their daughter was my classmate.
Yeah. So there they were. How many people, my students went up with when I was growing up in high school, junior high school, they all knew the Gottis, and the Gotti kids were graduating and stuff. I imagine the Gotti family would show up for their graduations. Yeah. But James Flaherty going to be talking to Rabbi Saul Solomon in just a little while about his life and so forth. Also, what else we have on this episode of the show? We have Greeley Times, which is all about things that happened in Greeley, Colorado that people are worried about. So they call the local police department, and the funniest calls that the police get go into a column every week in the Greeley Tribune newspaper. And then we take that column, it's called Cop Log, and we share the funniest ones with you in something that we call Greeley Times. So we have that. We also have Friends of the Neighborhood. We also have Bunyan Watch, where I'm going to share the condition, the shape, the beauty of my left and right foot bunions. Yes, that's what we do on this program. Plus our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we go to Belcaro, Colorado. Belcaro, which is a suburb, kind of a part of the Denver metro area. And I have a terrible, disgusting, and evil poem about Belcaro, Colorado. And then we will have part two of, and potatoes are extremely excited about this, but I don't even have a potato with me because I just didn't want trouble. I didn't want them screaming and making a scene the way they did last time. But also on the program, part two of Story Time, where we read the tale of who was...
Well, they found it so boring, David. They were like...
What?
They told me, they said snooze fest. They said not enough ketchup.
Well, it's his early life.
All about like him with goats and sheep. They were crying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's hoeing. He's selling his vegetables at market. It doesn't get exciting yet. He doesn't found the pickle and the relish and the horseradish company that he does. Oh, how many pages is this? 100 pages. It's going to take a while, potatoes. So we will delve deeper.
Fest, Daddy.
I know, potato.
Super snooze.
So what else do we get for Black Friday? Well, we still have about 15 minutes before our guest comes on. We got these guys.
I'm waiting for my Columbia jacket.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. My wife was looking for the zipper on her current winter jacket is kind of problematic. So she's gotten a Columbia. It's a good brand. We went to like REI, and they didn't have anything. And we went to Kohl's and Marshalls and whatever, and they just didn't have whatever. So we go online and we get her a nice Columbia winter jacket, which we're still waiting for. We got at our local uh, place where we get organic food and some of our supermarket shopping, a place called Mom's. They know we're suckers for things like this, so they put out in easy view cute little items that people might just want to buy on impulse. So we do, and we got. Let's see, which one should I show first? Oh, there's this one. We get a new addition to the family. Woolly octopus. There he is. We bring him home, and come on, this is really, really cute. I would have foregone, except he really does have 8 legs. They could have been cheap, as opposed. Even look at this. Look at this shirt.
I know.
Look at the shirt on
and
this
the
thing.
shirt, and their shirt doesn't cost that. Well, maybe it costs more ink to make a shirt. Look, he's got a shark on his tail. Maybe the shark ate the other leg.
Oh, maybe.
See the baby shark?
Oh, I just saw that. Wow.
Maybe he ate the other leg,
Yeah.
David.
Why? This is a sixopus. You know, 2 of the things might have been amputated. One could have been cancer. The other could have been the shark eating them. But this is not actually a legit octopus unless he's got 2 other arms coming out of his ass. However, this, gotta give the workmanship here, gotta give her credit, this is a legitimate octopus.
Yes.
And he's very
Is
cute.
that the one? That's the first one, so the one,
Yeah.
not the hydrocephalic one.
This is
He's facing that way.
This is the wall-eyed one where one eye's facing kind of one way, one eye's kind of. He's got a little bit of the acromegaly octopus here. So of course, us being married and doing everything in pairs. The next time we go, we say, and of course, if there's another octopus, we'll have to get him a friend. And
I want to go to Nay because the vegetables are better there than WG's. The cheese is better. I'd like to get my veggies there, and they put a new one out each time we take one.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the potatoes at
Well, when we were buying those
Target.
potato things, they were like $20 at Target. And I would be the cheap Jew and was like, please don't have another one. Please don't have another one. And we say, if they have one more, we'll go get them.
Well, this one needed a friend because, the one was staring one direction looking at
Yeah, but look at the head on this one.
But no, look, they stare at each other. Show them.
All right, here we go.
At least they look at each other. That's nice.
Actually, well, you have to put them this way for them to stare at each other.
They like each other. They're
There
very
we go.
happy.
Well, they're kind. This one was kind of looking at him.
No, they are.
But look at that.
Relatively.
Even my dad, who had hydrocephalus, did not have a head like this.
These are handmade by people. This is a charity that makes them. We're supporting a wildlife charity.
But this is why people use 3D and AI to make things, because when you have things that are handmade.
This is why they use the assembly line and like cutters, because.
It's like, I like ink. And so it's like, I can't see very well. Hello? This one, at least the eyes look a little like tits, which makes me kind of happy. But this is like, literally, it's amazing he can swim without falling over head first. But we do have 2 beautiful new octopuses, 2 octopi, in our home menagerie of stuff, which is kind of fun to have. It's cute. 2 weeks ago, I got new poop. Here's our old poop. And you have the new poop right there. Can you hand me the poop?
Wait here. Take your poop container here.
Oh, the whole container. I just need the brand new poo. So we got this. This was before Black Friday. This was Brown Thursday, and I keep railing about this because as nice as this looks, they're so cheap they make it hollow. I mean, come on.
Maybe you're supposed to fill it with your own poop.
You think?
I think that's what it's for, probably.
I know what I'm doing later.
I don't know. I would assume.
Can I borrow that shovel thing you?
Sure. Put it in the.
Oh, for later.
Yeah.
You're not going to use it again, are you?
Not if you use it first. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I bought something. Oh, a computer. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you got to get it mapped up from the Geek Squad.
I'm not going to go to the Geek Squad. You know where I'm going to go?
Where?
Mac.
Yeah.
I'll go to the Mac store.
Where is it?
In the not supermarket, in the big center in town.
Yeah.
Because I was checking. I was reading reviews of the Geek Squad and whether it's worth it. Because I've been, this computer has been a beautiful, wonderful blessing that I do the program on. It is a Mac Airbook that goes back to not. I mean, people think I'm joking. That goes back to 2013.
I got it at school.
Not the school we're on now, yeah.
And I wanted to get you it was a surprise, I think.
Or it was my birthday or some kind of thing. Because I've been working on PCs and things, or I maybe have one Mac before this.
Oh, it's called an Apple store, not Mac.
Apple Store.
Mac, when I look up Mac, it's cosmetics.
Yeah, or Big Macs, which is. But so I've been working on this machine, which has 4 gig RAM, like one. It's got a pretty big hard drive. It's got like 156 or 152 something.
You got to make a Genius Bar reservation.
Yeah, I was going to think about going to do that. But that was the thing. It's been great, and yet about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I started getting these messages on my machine.
Ooh.
That was everything okay?
No, I am.
Farted?
No, I got vertigo.
Oh, right.
We could have done it by New Holland G. They have one by them. We should go there because it'll be better.
We can have the machine when we.
It would be good because that's more high end.
Oh, you mean we could go? Yeah, we also do it in Columbia. We go back to Columbia, Maryland, and do it there. They have one, but I start getting this warning signal on my computer saying.
We could actually go to that store and go visit our friends.
Oh, yeah. You want to? We could.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe not this weekend. Maybe how about next?
All right, so I'll live in the box until
or
we.
Or let's figure it out. I mean, I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I just got all sneezing now.
So I get this warning message on the computer, and it says your battery will no longer hold a charge. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like warning your battery, and I was worried about it because about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago I was doing the show, and I thought the computer was plugged in, and it wasn't. It was running on battery. It was, and then halfway through the show, during an interview,
you got the message.
I got a message like your computer's about to shut down. What? Because it wasn't. I thought it was plugged in on one side, but I had the wrong plug-in. So. Really? Listen. My wife is scrolling through stuff, and
go
while
on
I'm
your Facebook, I'm trying to see you.
Imagine your cell phone battery was at 6% and lasted 8 days. That's Hanukkah. There you go. But the moment I'm talking about battery usage, the moment
I get all bunny and stuff, I get all sorts of stuff, and I was telling someone, I was talking to Natalie, and I'm like, oh, Natalie, I think I'm getting a migraine, and then I scroll on my Facebook, it's like migraine treatment. Now I don't have my. I
mean, we have a smart TV downstairs, so something is talking to something else.
No, in the other room, I don't know who it is. Nobody has a speaker.
But the thing is, I can still use my wonderful, wonderful machine. But it's long had its hard drive. I'm constantly taking things off the hard drive, and the operating system it's running on is already about 5 years old. I kept updating until I couldn't, and then it's been time for a while, but it's been such a fantastic help, a great machine, light to carry around, durable. I have nothing bad to say about this Mac Airbook.
I told you when I got it, so the guy spent like an hour with me because you said just get me a tablet, like an iPad. So I was looking. The guy's like, oh, you should get this. This is the best one. This is the Airbook, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like doing everything. He's fixed it up for me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like probably 40 at that time, mid 40s. And his girlfriend comes to pick him up. She looks like a 20-year-old version of me. Same eye color, same hair color, glasses.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm probably his fetish. So he took like an hour.
Oh yeah.
With a nice old lady who looked like his girlfriend.
You could have, we could have gotten like a couple $100 off if you offered a threesome.
No, he gave me it. It was a Black Friday deal. It was really cheap, and he really did a nice job of picking it. Obviously, if this kid picked up the thing, I paid it over time. It was the special where you got a percentage off. There was no tax, and you got to pay it over time.
Interest free. It was like, why not?
Like because you were a member of the school and the credit union or whatever, and like it lasted 11 years, David.
12 or 13.
Oh wow, Jesus! Because
it was 2013, and we're at the end of 2024.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's not dead yet. The battery's dead. If I try to open this up and use this somewhere without plugging it in, it will be dead in about 5 minutes. But then it'll turn on again when I plug it back in. But It's a sad time. This may be the very last time that I
Yeah.
do this program on my beloved Mac. Now, that might help some of the sound issues that we've had where people say I'm low
Oh,
compared to other
maybe.
people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah.
machines have better,
That's a good
audio and
point.
camera, and fine, fine, fine. Maybe the program will look better. I hope. I'm hoping my thing will run faster because mainly it's just about websites. Low. I can't enjoy the New York Post anymore because
Nobody
anytime I
can,
want
baby. Nobody can.
to.
Not just you, honey.
Yeah, but if I want to read the comments or the thing to load with all the banners and all the whatever, it just gets. It's literally like I'm back 25 years ago waiting for websites to load. And, we're
Well,
so spoiled
okay.
nowadays.
Well, why don't we? We
What?
could go to the one. If we go there, we'll go like maybe early one morning, like on a weekday.
Yeah,
We'll
this
go in the
week,
morning.
this week is
Yeah.
open it up.
Yeah.
Because there's also, I was chatting with a Mac person
Oh, good. Yeah.
and they said, you can open it up now. I'll talk you through it. And I was thinking, should I, shouldn't I may do that too. I may just say, it's not. I don't need them to transfer all my
Yeah, so
stuff. I just want them to get the
you can
thing.
try it at home, and then if you have any difficulty,
Yeah.
you're a smart man.
Nah, certainly not with technology. But Mac, the whole point of Mac is not PC. You don't suddenly have to now I have to buy the Microsoft Office suite from somewhere, load it up somehow, make sure it's going, and do this and this. Mac should be like,
At the box.
open it up, put a password
Yeah.
in, and you're swimming. I'm hoping.
Well, you should get the Wi-Fi password too, so you can get the log into Wi-Fi, because that'll make you frustrated.
Yeah. Everything makes me frustrated.
No,
I'm
no,
old and
just saying
Jewish.
it wouldn't, because you need to.
But you know what doesn't make me frustrated? When I book a guest for this video podcast,
Oh, wait a
Dave's Gone
second,
By.
David. Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
take
Well,
this.
what? Hold on, let me
Let's
have it.
switch phones. And then
Yeah.
I gotta get
When I book a guest and that guest shows up early or on time, ready to join us in the neighborhood to talk to not even me, but the great, the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Saul Solomon of blessed memory. So
Yeah, that's
the
not
guest.
a blessed memory.
No, I just like saying that because that's the joke of it. But yes, on our show today, we have 89-year-old actor, writer, madman back in the madman advertising days.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to talk about that too.
That is so cool.
James B. Flaherty. So he'll have a lot to talk about his life, about aging, the books that he's written. When you have 90 years on this planet, you should have some stuff to talk about. And when you're Rabbi Saul Solomon, you certainly have some stuff and opinions to talk about too. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to boogie away from the neighborhood for just a little while to bring in the rabbi and Jim Flaherty. Don't go away. Oh, shalom, my friends, shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Saul Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And with me in the neighborhood is this well-bespoke, fine young gentleman whose name is James B. Flaherty, or Jim Flaherty, as his friends call him. So he is, yes indeed, he is 89 years young. He is a novelist, a writer, a public speaker. He also has many years in some of the acting game as well as the PR and advertising game. So now he's publishing books. Books like Embrace Your Age. If you had wouldn't be.
I haven't yet.
It's okay to get older.
Can you be louder, Dave?
I can. Well, Chris, I'm Rabbi Sal. I'm not Dave.
Oh, Rabbi, I'm sorry.
I shout all the time. I will be happy to shout for you.
Good. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting a big full volume of you.
Everybody wants the full volume of the Sal. This is
yeah.
One.
I mean, my rabbi friend has such a loud mouth. I have to shut him up.
Well, I will do my best to scream at you in a very loud kind of a way.
Good.
My output is as best as I can make it. I'm sorry about it. So I will lean in a bit also to the microphone, and that might help.
Great.
So we're talking now with Jim Flaherty. So yes, tell us, Jim, shalom to you. Welcome to the neighborhood. So you have this book. When did you write Embrace Your Age?
Embrace Your Age came out about a year and a half ago. And it's I think it's a very good book. I'm actually more interested right now in a book I've just finished. I'm doing the final changes to the manuscript right now called Loving Longevity. And the subtitle is Make Your Next Years Your Best Years.
All right, make your next years your best years. Fine.
Yeah, and I'm saying under my name on the cover, it says James P. Flaherty. I'm 89 and have a 10-year plan.
How am I? God. So no, but let me bring this to you immediately. You, God willing, seem to be in good health. Knock wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but how do you respond to people when they're 80s? Because 85 seems to be that dividing line. People feel fine until they're 85. 86, they're just rolling down the hill.
Right. Obviously, Rabbi, there's nothing we can do about what our DNA dictates. You know, they say, oh, well, your family is heart disease all the way down, or diabetes or cancer, you know, and chances are you're going to have it. So I say, fine, if you know that ahead of time, find the right clinic, the right hospital, the right doctor, and be prepared to fight it, because obviously medicine and treatments are changing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have an increasingly older population. We're getting older and older and older. You know, all of the Flaherty men, all of them died before 65. So here I am at 89 and bouncing, you know, and okay, fine. I had bladder cancer. I've had rotator cuff surgery. I had an accident and broke my tibia in 4 places, so I have a new hip. But those are things, and they go away. I mean,
usually hip is the indicator. Once the hip goes,
yeah,
the cliche, everything else comes tumbling down after.
Yeah, and that was 8 years ago. So I am embracing my age. I am very careful. There's no falling allowed. You know, I get to a stairwell, and I count the stairs that I'm holding on. I'm watching it.
Just for
no, I don't. I have them. If I'm going outside, or if I have to go to the city. I rarely go to New York anymore. I live up in the boonies. I live 2.5 hours north of New York, in that very pretty part of America where New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts all bump into each other. The foothills of the Berkshires. You know, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
So I really am in the country most of the time, but even in the country, there can be icy roads, there can be all kinds of things. So I'm careful, you know, but I also do all the healthy stuff. I eat healthfully. I exercise every day. I'm very spoiled, Rabbi. I consider it a very practical move on my part. Most people go, "You do what? You have what?" I have an internal swimming pool. But let's face it,
what do you mean an internal swimming pool?
I have a pool in my house.
Your pool. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
you made money
in New York State, if you have an outside pool, they're very pretty. And you use them twice a week for 2 or 3 months, and that's it. Yeah, and you spend all that money to look at that very pretty thing out there. I use my pool every morning.
Sure.
30 minutes of not swimming laps. I go in and do exercises in the deep end with weights and do all this stuff every single morning. 6 days a week, except Sunday, because I get up early and go to church for choir rehearsal.
All right, yeah. Hey, I mean, this is thrilling. Are you now? You have kids, right? You have grown, I assume.
My babies are now 62 and 64. I have 4 millennial grandsons, 30 to 38. I have 2 half Japanese great grandsons.
I mean, this is absolutely. Are you now? You were married at a certain point. Is she?
Yeah, I've been widowed twice.
Wow.
Okay, but I've had I've had a lot of fun in my life. Actually, I mean, I did not grow up with money. My father died when I was 14, going on 11. We were very innocent in the 40s and 50s. The kids have no idea the difference in my life. When I read things about teen pregnancies and girls leaving school and high school and all the drug problems, I can assure you in Coral Gables, Florida, there were no teen pregnancies. Or if there were, maybe there were, but we sure as hell didn't know about it. And I can tell you, though, Rabbi, we were very innocent. Ours, the 40s and 50s, was the yes or no ma'am generation. We didn't have social media to screw up our heads. We bought the first TV on our block. I was 15 years old. I never saw television until I was 15. I lived in Coral Gables, a suburb of Miami, without air conditioning, before air conditioning. People said, how could you possibly do that? I said, we were perfectly happy. Nobody had air conditioning.
Yeah. And you could leave the doors open at night because nobody was stealing.
Yeah, you had fans, you had screens on the window.
I get that. I do. What was your first? Do you have any memories of being alive in the 90s? It seems so long ago now. The 1940s, like anything of the politics of the time, of the era of the.
Not really. It's amazing how I'm always very intrigued when I talk to people who remember every moment of their little years. They remember the front porch with grandma and grandpa are swinging on the tire in the tree. And I remember I have little moments of remembering.
What about like BE Day or BJ Day or being with a.
Yeah, I remember. I remember my mother talking to my father about he was going to, because today is Pearl Harbor Day, he was going to go and join the military. And I remember them discussing it. I was 7 years old or something like that. So politics, I remember them. They campaigned for Tom Dewey.
Wow. He almost defeated Truman. For a couple of hours he did.
Yeah.
Things what else even the 60s are now so long ago, or the 50s. Do you remember things from the 50s?
Well, in the 50s, I graduated from high school in 1953, and then I went to University of Florida in Gainesville for 2 years, which was then still a semi-Southern university. And I went to my counselor and said, feeling sophomoric thoughts, I said, what am I going to be when I grow up? And he said, well, James, you're heading for a journalism degree, and you get a job in a small town Florida newspaper. And besides the $30 a week salary, you wouldn't like it because you're not one of us. And I said, what am I, green? And he said, no, but you're from Coral Gables, which is really a Yankee town, and your parents are Midwesterners. He said, do you feel at all Southern, Jim? I said, no, I don't at all. And he said, if you want to be a journalist, go to Columbia or University of Missouri. But he said, there's a whole new area. I laughed at this now. A whole new area of study, like the combination of advertising and public relations and TV and speech, everything. It's called communications, and now every roadside garage and chapel offers a degree in communication. In those days, 2 universities in America offered communication.
Because nobody knew what the hell was.
So
I still don't know.
I
What
transferred
do you, what do you
I
recommend?
transferred to Michigan State University,
Yeah.
was in the band, and saw snow for the first time at age 20. And I did that, graduated, came to New York City, got a job. I took home $200 a month after taxes
That's still more
and
than
had
most
no
people
allowance from home. I
Yeah.
was poor, but I loved it. I thought this is the best thing in the world. I found a quote from Noel Coward, of all people, which I loved then and I still love it now. Work is more fun than fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's terrific. Yeah, terrific. Because I did very well. I became a madman. You know what that was? If you saw the TV series, that was me. I was the corner office writer, creative director of advertising agencies. So
Well, can you, what campaigns? Are there campaigns we might remember?
not real. I changed. I modernized the Avon lady. I made sure that Smirnoff was still the #1 vodka in the world. I sold British Airways Concorde jets. I used to fly to England every other week for a 3-hour flight. Then I accepted a job when my children were 9 and 11. I said, pack. They said, where are we going, Daddy? I said, we're moving 5,400 miles to Buenos Aires, Argentina. And they said, okay, and we did that.
Your wife had something to say about. I mean,
Yeah, of course we had discussed it, but I was creative director of J. Walter Thompson in Argentina there, and we had a wonderful life. We had a cabin cruiser, we had a chauffeur. You know, life was very nice, and Argentina was Spanish-speaking Europe. It was very sophisticated and very, very beautiful and all that stuff. Now it's completely screwed up thanks to the government.
Wait. The government you were there under were the Perones, weren't they?
No. Perón came back my last year. Perón came back, and the Argentines reelected him. I couldn't believe it. It would be like the Germans reelecting Hitler.
They would.
The Argentines reelected Perón, and he appointed his, quote, secretary, because Evita was long dead. He appointed his secretary, who had been a nudie pole dancer in Panama, as vice-presidente, as vice president. He died a year later. I thought, I won't say the word, died appropriately of cancer of something behind you, and which I thought was very appropriate. And she, the pole dancer, became La Presidente de Argentina.
I mean, she would know about
I couldn't believe it. I thought,
yeah.
all we need are clowns and elephants. It was Barnum and Bailey time. You know, I mean, it was ridiculous. And at that point, I left, came back to New York, jumped off that mountain, and started a business I knew nothing about. I bought an abandoned stack of stone in the country that I loved, an English country house, and I turned it into a country inn conference center, and I owned it for 30 years, and it became nationally famous. The first 10 years, I worked 70 hours a week to make it happen.
But you loved it.
I loved it. But I knew nothing. I left a solid gold career doing something I knew and understood, being a creative director, and did something just being an innkeeper, and I was married 216 times. And I marketed it to high level executives. So friends would call from New York and say, Flaherty, what are you doing up there in Anemia? The town is Armenia, New York. They go, anemia or amnesia. I said, what are you doing talking to the corner deli owner? I have Henry Kissinger this week. And next week I have the gods of the American Express. And after that, the owners of the New York Times. I had America's elite under my roof, and it was fine. I liked it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I had fun too. I had fun doing it.
Still there, even though you're not running it.
Yeah, it's now a boutique hotel. I laughed. I just got their monthly email. Rooms are now $600 a night with nothing included. You know, and I used to sell weekends for about $600 with all meals and spirits included. It was a country inn. It was a very different operation.
What, the 1980s, 90s?
Yeah, well, I opened in 1979, 79, and so we got all through the 80s. And at that point, it became successful, and I after the first 10 years, I started living very well. I had a villa in Acapulco for 25 years, and I traveled around the world and did lovely things. You know, my children were educated and out of college by then. And so I have a very loving relationship with both daughters are coming for Christmas and
Of
one
course they are. They
grandson
want to
from
be in
each
your will.
daughter.
Holy shit! No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how do I get in your will? This is just your, yeah.
Listen, I told the Rev, I call him, my minister, who's a Yale scholar and a darling little guy, an Illinois farm boy with a real steel trap brain. And I said, you know, if you start drooling and are unable to give these wonderful sermons of yours, I'll be Jewish. I said, I've been Catholic. But
Yes.
my rabbi friend calls me, I love it, a collapsed Catholic. Because
But you are obviously a believer. I mean, you go to church. You do.
oh yeah, oh no, I mean the rabbi and his wife were at my table Thanksgiving, and he's a wonderful, he's a great friend, and and I got him to come to the Presbyterian church and give the sermon one Sunday, and at the end of the sermon he picked up his guitar and sang a song. I mean, he's just a showman. And then 3 months later, our reverend and the congregation went to temple, and our reverend gave the sermon. So I've created a bridge between the temple and the Presbyterian church in this small town.
Yes,
and,
yes,
which is nice.
As long as you don't baptize the rabbi, that would be a very bad.
he told a story at Thanksgiving I loved. He said, I was during a funeral and they had astroturf all around the grave, which is very slippery. And I saw one man was standing too close and he slipped and he fell into the grave. And his wife said, Lou, get out of the goddamn grave. He said, so I said the only thing I could, amen. I love the guy.
One thing that is on your bio on your website, which by the way, folks, is jamesbflaherty.com, jamesbflaherty.com, is that, listen, I do want to roll back momentarily to your college years.
Yeah.
When you graduated, when you got your degree and you had your ceremony.
Yeah, at MSU.
Yeah, at MSU, that your commencement speaker
was Richard Nixon. He was the vice president. He was the vice president of the U.S. He said, my boss said, don't try to don't get smart, Alecky Dick, because a lot of those kids are a lot smarter than you. And because the president of MSU was on Eisenhower's Atomic Commission. So MSU was very tied to the government in those days, you know, but.
So what else do you remember about Nixon's? Did he mention checkers? Did he mention?
No, I used to see Nixon. I would go down to Miami back to Coral Gables, and my mother belonged to the Key Biscayne Beach Club, and we would go out there, and that's where Nixon would go to visit his friend Bibi Rebozo, and we see the president and Bibi walking barefoot on the beach, walking around the island. We'd say, "Good morning, Mr. President." And, you know, he was there all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just the idea of him walking barefoot may be the most.
Yeah, sure. He was on the beach.
I know, it's Nixon. Nixon was born in a suit and born with a shadow. The very fact of him having toenails and sand is so disturbing. Now, at what point, as a madman, as an ad exec, you did a ton of writing, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm a writer.
Yeah.
Right.
When did you really start to write in longer form? Writing
books. Well, I couldn't do it during the innkeeping years because that's constant, that's nonstop 24/7 work. I didn't start writing novels. I wrote the bottom two books here are fiction. They're pure novels, you know, romance, sex, Broadway, international travel, novels, you know, they're fun. And I was in my 70s, early 70s when I started writing those. And then as I hit 80, I realized a lot of people in my age were retreating from life. People who I knew whom I had known in their 40s, 50s, and 60s were a stick of dynamite, suddenly were, oh, I know I can't do anything and nobody really wants to see me. And I said, that's just BS. Get up. You know what? You were one of the funniest broads that ever lived, and now you think you're an old lady. And it annoyed me so much that I wrote these two books. The Dear Old Friends was really a love letter to all my old friends. My whole life, I had friends 20 to 50 years older for some reason, from the time I was a teenager. And then, but Embrace Your Age is really talking, every chapter asks the question, if you don't have any best friends, why should I talk to you? But how are you going to handle it when they die? It asks real questions, and I want people to be able to answer it. And then the new book, the Loving Longevity, gets into all of that, plus my philosophy of living. I have a very strong feeling that, and then I always have to be careful to not sound preacher-ish, that I want people really to concentrate on the fact of the miracle of life, that every day there's no guarantees we're going to wake up on the right side of the grass. And if you do, I think you should wake up and say, hot damn, another chance to see, hear, taste, touch, speak, share, love, embrace. And it kills me when people don't. So I find, and so I'm trying to also push people to live. I try not to say the second commandment, but basically it is that I'm trying to teach people to do something good for at least one person a day. Do something good for somebody where you expect nothing back in return.
Oh, no.
Whether it's the nice lady bagging your groceries in the grocery store, which is a thankless job, say, aren't you nice putting all the frozen goods in one bag? And you're so fast and efficient, and she will smile at you. And what's more, she'll smile at the next person and say, hello. So your goodness passes on. I want people to do that. My mother was a very smart woman, because she was left with me alone, a very young 14-year-old when my father died. All of a sudden, he died in 1 week. Went in the hospital one Sunday and died the next Sunday. And she taught me when I was probably in college. She said, I want you to understand something. Every day of your life, you're going to have to confront your biggest critic. You're the toughest person you know in your life. It's that person in your bathroom mirror. And every morning you can look at that person and go, good God, another day, or smile bravely and cheerfully and say, good God, another day. And it may sound corny, but I basically do that. And I never wake up depressed. I do not have depressive days. I wake up thinking of, gee, I've got an opportunity. Here's my schedule. You can see all the I've added things in the last 2 or 3 days. Every line is a day, and they're full days, and I live up to my schedule. And I wake up, I make a list at night of all the things. This was last night's list. And then I check them off the next morning as I get them done, to make sure that I've gotten those things out of the way, so I don't have to think about them at night, because I've made the list at nighttime.
Yeah. No, my list is like, wake up, try and have a bowel movement, don't die, cry about something, yell at somebody, have a little food, go back to sleep, and try to wake up again. This is my list. So far, I'm able to check most of the boxes.
Good.
But let's talk a little bit more about your books, because you mentioned that one deals with Broadway a little bit.
These bottom two books they both have a little bit of Broadway action in them. And
were you ever? I mean, did you see Broadway shows in the 40s?
When I was in New York, the joke was you didn't have to read New York Magazine or the New Yorker to know what was the best show, the best restaurant, the best book. You could ask Jim, because Jim knew everything, right? Because I was a creative director and I was in charge of the world. Okay. And the New York Times would have a list of all the shows, and I could go down and check off knowing that I had seen all of them. now I've seen 2 Broadway shows in the last 3 years.
Well, you
I,
still go. I mean, again, you don't go to the city that much. So
I
what
know. I sold my apartment 2 years ago. It's the first time since age 21 or 22 that I've not had an apartment, had a New York address. It's the first time in my life that I've owned only one structure, the one I live in, which I love. It's a 1940 dairy barn that I'd converted. And it's
really?
great. The living room was 35 feet high. It was the hayloft, so it's
Oh,
fun.
you
And
mean
it's
like a dairy barn, an actual dairy barn, not like the dairy barn. There was.
No, this was a barn. This had cows in it.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah,
So
I love barns. This is my third barn, actually. I had a thing for barns when I discovered them in the country. I didn't grow up with them in Florida.
no,
It wasn't part of my life. But when I found them up north, I thought, what a wonderful shape that is.
but
You know,
I got to go back and ask you, like, what are some of the earliest Broadway shows that you remember seeing in?
First show I saw out of college, I
Yeah.
came to New York. I saw it with the original cast, Damn Yankees, which was a wonderful show with Gwen Verdon, and it was, and I was knocked out. Then I got married like the next year, almost the next year. I was in the army. After a year, I had to go in the army. I was earning $80 a month, and I met this absolutely beautiful girl who I couldn't believe wanted to marry me, was in love with me, and I thought nobody would fall in love with me anyway. Did not have a big super image of myself as a sex appeal, and we got married while I was in the army, and we had a 4-day weekend off. We came to New York, stayed in the Hotel New Yorker, and we saw in the original cast the new show that had just opened on Broadway, My Fair Lady. Then, I forgot. The year I came to New York, also, when my first job, I was working for Allied Stores for $65 a week before taxes. Um, and one girl that was also in that same program with me, so we had to save every quarter. We bought tickets to the new hot show that everybody was talking about on Broadway called West Side Story. And the big joke in New York back then, and I think the New Yorker did a cartoon about it, was the two Jewish ladies standing together, and one said, "So have you seen this new show? They're all talking about this West Side Story thing." And the other woman said, "Where are you going to find hoodlums what can dance like that?" Which I loved.
That wow, wow. I mean, so, and you, by the way, have done a little bit of acting yourself.
A little bit. Thank you, Jesus, that I didn't have that need or the screaming desire to be an actor. We have an Equity Playhouse 8 minutes from my house, right down the road.
Which one?
Well, up here in the country, they have them. This is called Sharon Playhouse. It's been in operation for more than 100 years.
Wait, is
And
that in Connecticut? In stores in
in,
Connecticut?
in Sharon, Connecticut,
Yeah.
I'm on the border with Sharon, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My house I'm 1 mile from the Connecticut border. And last year I was in our town. We did that. And last night I was in a reading of a new play of 4 teenagers are sent to an old folks home to deal with 4 old people. And it was a reading with emotion, so
This is modern times, so you were cast as one of the teenagers.
yes, of course, absolutely.
Age doesn't matter.
When I was 36 and living in Argentina, and I've shrunk to 6 feet now. I was 6'3.5" back then with black hair, kind of a modified Jesus hair and a black mustache. And I directed a musical for the International Theater Group. And the next year they came, I was so busy. The job was a killer. I was working in Spanish, and I had Ford, Pan Am, Kodak, and Lever Brothers, plus other accounts, and 42 creative people working for me. And they said, we'd like you to do another show. And I said, I can't, I'm too busy to direct a show. They said, no, we want you to be in one, Jim. And you don't even have to try out. It's promises, promises. And I said, oh, it's a sweet show. I know it. Neil Simon wrote the book. Burt Bacharach did the music, everything. They said, fine, just show up for rehearsal. So I showed up, and those bastards put me in the leading role.
Oh, they didn't tell you.
Which I was not. I'm not prepared for. I mean, my voice was stronger then, but the leading male role sings half the songs. I mean, it's all the time you're singing, you know. So, but it was a sweet show. So now I just sing in the choir. That's it.
Fair enough. And you were in our you weren't the narrator in our town. Who did they get you to play?
No, I wasn't the narrator. We switched it. We had a very well-known woman actress who lives up in the area. Yeah, play it, which was terrific. I mean, which worked out fine. It could be a woman playing the narrator.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, it's on Broadway right now in a revival, doing extremely well. You know, it's interesting because nothing happens in our town. You know,
yeah, just life and death.
Just life and death, right?
Life, marriage, and death. But,
yeah.
You know,
but it was an interesting.
It was a magnificent
journey.
So who's this well-known actress? Who's
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me because I know her. I married her 35 years ago. I mean, I married her off at Troutbeck at my inn. I'll try to think of it. Well, I know she married Brad Whitford, who was in The West Wing.
Oh, all right.
Oh God.
Hold on. Sharon Connecticut.
She's a terrific dame too. She's a very good actress. She was in Malcolm in the Middle. I know that she was in the TV series.
I'm trying to think of.
Never mind.
It doesn't matter.
I can't dig it up right now.
But well, whatever. Well, we can figure it out. But anywho, also, what else? Tell me about your book. I think it's behind you. Claire, wife, mother, mistress. Murderer,
yeah. And by the way, the cover is a painting of my younger daughter, done by some friend of hers when she was in college. And so when the book was finished, I sent it. And Shannon lives in England. She's lived in England for 35 years. I sent it to her, and she said, "Well, I've never murdered anyone."
Well, that's more than you wanted to. Well, you wanted to know
she's coming a week from Tuesday. Shannon's coming with one of her sons and his wife. I'm bringing them over from England for the holidays.
Now, and by the way, if there are literary agents watching, you make this very clear on your website that you've got these books, you're writing constantly. You have a new book that you've just finished. So if there are an agent out there.
That's what I want. I also, besides the books, I have, which these two books would be terrific feature films or TV series. They're both written that way. I'm very commercial. I mean, I write things thinking of how they can be commercialized. I've also I have an original TV series and a screenplay ready to go.
Well, can't you be your own producer then? I mean, you have thank God, the time and the money. Why not just?
I don't have those connections anymore, and I don't see me going out kicking dirt to get the money to do that. Not at this age. Maybe had I been 69, 68, I would still do it. At 89, I'm not sure. I want an agent to come to me and say, well, he's an old fart, but I'll read his stuff. And if they can see what I know is there, that it's commercial and that it will sell and that it will appeal to people because I write things that people can read and say, oh, that's me, or I relate to that. I would love to do that.
Do you have a new idea for a book? Something that you're going to be working on next?
Well, besides the Loving Longevity, which I've just finished. Yeah. I mean that should be published in January or February this year. I'm working on a new novel too. I have about 125 pages written of a novel, which
So do you tell about it or you keep stum?
No, this one has a male protagonist. My first two novels have had female protagonists. I started out funny. I wrote Role of a Lifetime first, that book there, and I first started out with a male protagonist, and he bored me, so I switched, and it became woman oriented, and both books are about women because I found it easier. I like women better. I find them they're more intelligent than men generally.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
Generally, yes. This is we have to admit.
And there's another thing that I know about, and you would love it too, Rabbi. You really would. It's called Modern Elder Academy. I would like you to write modernelderacademy.com and say, please Jim said, put me on the mailing list. It's free for the daily blog, which is called The Wisdom Well. And they have free monthly webinars for an hour with interviewing brilliant people. And then the only thing they charge for is if you want to come to one of the workshops. I've gone to 4 workshops. The last one was in October. They have 2 campuses. One is in the Baja on the Mexican side, about an hour outside of Cabo, St. Lucas, and the other one is just outside of Santa Fe. And I've gone to 3 in the Baja, and I just went to one in Santa Fe. And on the dais were Liz Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, yeah.
And a wonderful Black woman named Tererai Trent, who was
Tererai Trent?
Tererai, Tererai Trent. That Trent was the American fellow she married. She was a woman in her 70s. When she was 12, her parents sold her for a cow to a man to be a wife. By the time she was 15, she had 3 children. Then she had 3 more. A woman met her. And after the 8 years it took her to get her GED out of Africa, the woman sent her to America, where she earned a bachelor, a master's, and a PhD. She's a worldwide speaker. She's built 44 schools in Africa.
Oh,
she was darling. I was crazy about her. She was wonderful.
If I could get a woman for a cow, like that's worth it. Definitely pay on it, because sometimes it's not an even trade.
That's wishful thinking, Rabbi.
Sometimes the cow is more valuable. Sometimes you get more meat. You get
that's right
for a few years, and the woman you're just annoying. But when you get a woman like that for a cow,
like that,
that's
right?
Pretty damn good. That's we have been chatting with James B. Flaherty. I want to remind you that you can they get your books through your website, James?
Through Amazon, yes. And my books, they'll see on my website, they'll see all of the books, and they're all available on Amazon, right?
And the most recent one is Embrace Your Age. And then in January or February, you're going to have the new one. Remind me, I'm sorry, it's called what?
Loving Longevity.
Loving Longevity, both of them by Jim Flaherty. So I've got to ask you, got your 10-year plan.
Yeah.
What do you expect to be accomplishing in your 10th?
Well, part of that 10-year plan is to get something either serialized on TV or to have a feature film made or to have my TV series produced or my screenplay produced, because they're both very good and they would do well. I'm quite sure.
Well, Halabai, toy. I'm knocking. Juice wouldn't knock wood because it represents something, but you would. So I will watch you knock wood and nod appreciatively and hope that these things happen for you. And hope that you stay healthy and happy and positive, obviously, in your amazing outlook. Jim Flaherty, it just remains for me to thank you so much.
Thank you. Please write Modern Elder Academy. You would love them, Saul. You really would, David. Saul.
I'm not David, I'm Saul. There you go. Saul.
Yeah.
Saul. Jim, thank you, and shalom to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Jim B. Flaherty in the neighborhood with me, Rabbi Saul Solomon. So, yes, you don't get that kind of feeling, that attitude from me. Me, you get rage. He doesn't get depressed. I get depressed hold it. I got a depression coming on in 3, 2. Okay, I'm over it. But yeah, what a nice change of pace, and what a very, very cool gentleman, Jim Flaherty. It just means that, you know what? If you're rich and healthy, you can have a nice old age. Me, I manage with what I've got. So if you want to see what I've got, go to my website, shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T. Shalomdammit.com. And this is where you can read my mini sermons, my rabbinical reflections, my elderly, not so modern thinking. Plus, you can see TV episodes that I did from about 15 years ago on Long Island Cable TV. It's called Shalom Dammit, Rabbi Sal Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour, plus the stage show that I did called Shalom Dammit, An Evening with Me. All of this, there are links to everything on shalomdammit.com. You're going to want to take a look. Also, a link to all the interviews I've done on this program, The Dave's Gone By Show, which is hosted by Dave Lefkowitz, who's been waiting in the wings for me to shut up and give him back his program. So, I wish you a great shalom, a happy and warm and nice December as the holidays creep towards us. By the way, everybody's waiting, where the hell's Hanukkah? What's that? It's middle of December already. Where the hell's Hanukkah? Hanukkah isn't happening until the end of the friggin' month. When there's going to be New Year's, and it's still going to be Hanukkah this year. Everything's topsy-turvy, let me tell you. But not a terrible thing. So I wish you a good, fine week, and I will see you soon. Let me dance out of here with my klezmeric music. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday morning, December 7th. I always want to say 1941, and we're actually naming this episode Infamy, INFAYOU, because, of course, December 7th, 1941 remains the day that will live in infamy, Pearl Harbor Day. But, yeah, we're just dropping bombs of love and joy and silliness on you on this 970, wow, 970th episode of the Dave's Gone By Show with me, Dave Lefkowitz, and all of you guys watching at home. Remember, speaking of websites, that you can watch older episodes of this program at davesgoneby.com. davesgoneby.com. It's free. You can download the shows. You can also just stream them on your computer. If you don't want to watch and sit through a whole hour-long or 3-hour episode, you can kind of skim along and get to the parts that you want. There's even a separate section of all the interviews we've done that have been extracted from the major shows, and then you can just watch the interview if you want. It's all there at davesgoneby.com. We also put our archives at archive.org. We have a channel there, the archive.org website, which gathers art and entertainment from Western and Eastern civilizations for the past hundreds of years, as long as it's kind of public domain or they have permission. Well, they do. And then you can go there for free and get all sorts of stuff, all these public domain books, literature, radio programs from the Golden Age, TV shows from the Golden Age of television. It's all there at archive.org.
Oh, and you are live because I saw you streaming.
Oh, good. And on the Dave's Gone By channel. What do you mean, my phone?
I want to check it.
Yeah. And also we keep our archives at castbox.fm. Castbox.fm. This is a place where we have all our audio. Because when we started going up there, we were still we were still a radio program. So it was no big deal just to throw our audio.
We used to videotape you. I used to videotape you in the studios at WGBB.
I don't think we ever did it, GB, maybe one time for our New Year's show. I don't even know what happened to that footage. But we didn't start taping until UNC. It was our last year or two when I was at the college radio station where we were up until about 2000 and I guess it was 2000. Oh, now I can't even. 2019, probably. I think we started taping weekly in 2017.
Oh, wow.
Or 16 or something. And that's when week after week we really started having video to upload. But
Right.
Castbox is still just audio. Castbox.fm, from our very first episode to our most recent. If you just care about listening to the show, that's a great place to do it because it is a podcast there. Here it's more of like watching a show. But either way, tons and tons of Dave's Gone By material. I mean, this is our 970th show. We're a little over half a year
That's
away.
Crazy.
I know. Sometime in 2025. I can't predict yet. Probably in August. I know.
Can you believe? I can't believe you've done even over like 500. It seems like a massive undertaking.
It wasn't intended to be.
What was the original goal? Tell me.
The original goal was to get on a small commercial station, WGBB, commercial in quotes perhaps, WGBB on Long Island, to do a show for people to hear it, to love it, and either to get it syndicated or to have other stations in New York listen, like what I did, and hire me. That was the idea 22 fucking years ago. And, neither of which actually happened. But then social media came around, and now anybody can watch me at any time from anywhere. So that's good. I still don't make a living. I still, I read about what these influencers make and these people who have podcasts and who get on and have OnlyFans pages and stuff, and they make like $1 million a month or some insane amount of money because they show some tit. And I'm like, I've been doing this for 22 years out of love, out of desire to still get discovered, to still get my name out there, to still have people kind of produce my plays or something. But I still do it. I do it for love now, because what the fuck else am I doing it for?
They found you and did your play in Chennai.
Yeah, whether that came from the show or they're just finding Blind Date on...
No, they're friends of your show. They're on the Facebook, I think.
That was after.
Oh, okay.
That was all the people who watched my play when they did it in Chennai, and then found me or saw the show in India and were part of that theater company. But yeah. So I do it, and I'm still doing it. And I'm certainly health permitting.
Oh God.
What happened?
What if soy milk is just regular milk introducing itself in Spanish?
That's my joke.
Yes, I know.
They stole my
we
joke.
Never did soy milk.
Because
soy.
when I go to a supermarket, Joyce will, my wife will.
You like to get oat milk and oat nog.
Oat nog.
Yeah.
But I will pick up a bottle of soy milk and I will say to her, and I do this. I say, "Es usted milk?" And I'll say, "Sí, yo soy." I've been doing this joke for 20-something years.
Yes,
and now there they are. They're stealing it from me. How nice. How nice. And not giving me commission. I even told in my classes this week, because we were talking about figures of speech and puns. So I gave them some of my puns.
Well, give me a pun.
Well, I told them, and this is true, that I wrote this joke when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I've heard it everywhere.
Does it involve duty?
Have I gotten a penny? No.
Does it involve duty?
It doesn't. I told another a duty joke I wrote last month. I told that one.
Yeah.
No, but the one I wrote when I was 5, and I think my mom and dad will. Well, my dad's dead, but would verify this. Can't verify anything. What do you call fake spaghetti?
Fake Getty.
No, an impasta. I was 5 years old when I wrote that joke. I've seen it so many places.
That's an older joke than you, David.
No, I made it up.
No, you didn't.
I didn't hear it. I was 5. I wasn't even watching
my
TV.
Italian ancestors would probably have been saying that joke for.
Well, what about this one? What about this one that I wrote 2 weeks ago? I have a cousin who runs a website all about constipation.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's fine, except he can never log out. Yeah, it basically got that reception in class.
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
No, come on!
Any dad joke would be better. You want me to get the dad
log
joke?
out? No, it's okay. It's all right. You gonna mind now?
No, I think it's dumb.
Dumb?
Yes, it's dumb.
Why is it dumb?
Because it's like, Nobody says log out anymore.
Nobody ever said log out. That was,
No,
but it's
I know-
cute.
yeah, I
It's a
know,
cute idea of a
no.
log coming.
Impasta at least is a little funnier.
But, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I find the log out. But then again, I used the log out joke to follow up from a joke that I think is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Oh, Jesus.
That was from a terrible movie. It was Robert Altman's film of A Prairie Home Companion. But they have one sequence with Dusty and Buddy, I think their names are, and they tell these terrible bad dad jokes.
Yeah.
And one of which is, did you know that scientists have discovered that diarrhea is hereditary? Yeah, it runs in your genes.
I would say it runs in families.
No, that's not. No, it runs in your genes. Get it? I didn't make that one up. That's great. And then I followed it with a log out. You can understand the evals I get from students
the words
now.
great and those things would not be put in the same.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Not at all.
It is December 7th, 2000. I still want to say 1941, 2024, here in the neighborhood. Our show is called INFAMY, INFAYOU, and we
Your
are.
guest was really great.
Wasn't he good?
What an interesting man.
No kidding. No kidding.
I can't see you live on your phone.
Oh.
But I can on the Facebook. But I see you on my computer. I was watching you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I don't know why. I don't understand why. Sometimes I can look at Facebook on your phone and
You know what you need to do?
What?
Remember the antenna that you used to put on TVs to get signal?
Yeah.
You have to use like the octopus and use his
No.
as
I
antenna.
don't want to see that. Please no.
We want to see that. We just got him. He's adorable.
Not upside down with you touching his feet like
His
that.
head might get bigger. Yeah.
No, I don't want to. We don't want that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we do have more to do on this.
Oh God.
What the hell?
No.
We do have more to do on this program, including Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We're going to read more from the Who Was H.J. Hines book on Storytime, and Friends of the Neighborhood, and coming up now, Greeley Times, because the Greeley Tribune newspaper, which has been around for more than 100 years, my wife and I lived in Greeley, Colorado for about 13 years, and this was our local newspaper, real paper of local
David
news.
Stewart's posting like crazy.
Oh, I know, right? Colorado Greeley Tribune, every week they have a column in their paper called Cop Log. And this comprises stories or phone calls that come in from people all over Greeley, Colorado, Evans, people who see stuff going on in the neighborhood and go, police, you need to look into this. Please. So the dispatcher at the police department has to take all this down. It's public record, so long as you strip away the identifiers of the exact address and who lives there, the people and their names. But the information, everybody's entitled to know. So the newspaper gets access to it, and they take the funniest, cutest, most ridiculous ones and print them once a week in their column Cop Log. We take those and create something that we love to call Greeley Times. Oh! Uh-oh. The chickens are flying in. No. Chickens happening. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, they're not hang on. Guy, hit me in the face.
This has turned to a whole other show.
Yeah,
This in 1 second.
wait till they do Bunyan Watch.
This is to a fansonly.com.
Yeah, they're gonna make some money, right? Okay, all right. Oh. And actually, we just got kind of dirty. Anyway, all right. We have a phone call. Let me get the octophone.
Get the one that's not hydrocephalic.
That's the other one.
That's actually facing your.
Yeah, the one with the one with the titty eyes.
No, have him face your. Let me see.
Well, I can do it like this.
Oh no.
Hold on, he can actually stay there. I can actually have the like half my students. They just run around with pods in their ears all the time. Here we go. Octopods. A caller at a car wash on 28th Street said someone came through the car wash with a fishing pole and damaged another vehicle.
Oh, maybe in the back of the truck.
Yeah, or sticking out
Why
that
would
way.
you do that?
Well, I mean, they're used to having wet stuff around them. I don't know.
You know who it was?
What? It could have been. It could have been.
He looks like the kind of guy who would do it.
He would do. He would take a fishing pole, put it in the back of the car, and then gash out somebody's like paint job.
Get your stuff, Bubba.
Yeah. No, that was good. It's good. I guess if the other guy is ruined by a fishing pole, he has reason to carp.
I'd love to.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have another item from Greeley Times here. Oh. Okay. Can you guess, ladies and gentlemen, can you guess where this took place? A caller on 8th Avenue said a woman was harassing another woman in the bathroom before walking out and knocking over all the chairs. Where would this have taken place?
At the fairground?
No, it's not a trick question. So she's harassing another woman in the bathroom and walks out and knocks over all the chairs.
Oh, at a baseball game.
A bar. Having a bar. Yeah. Of course.
Why not?
Well, it could have been a baseball, except you can't knock over the chairs in a baseball game because they're going to be
If you try hard enough, you could.
bolted in. Yeah. Oh. Let's grab another.
Put it on top of your head. It might be cute like a hat. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, look at that! I can walk around like that. I'll look like everybody else. Look at this. Wow.
Yeah, heads up. Well, Tom Waits is 75.
Mit Mazel Nick. A caller at 16th Street, so outside at 16th Street, reported a vehicle idling in the middle of the road with a man slumped over in the driver's seat.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, that's probably that's I would call.
That is a real emergency.
Well, remember one time we were driving. This isn't Greeley.
Oh yes, and it was like the guy was sitting like a statue at a stoplight.
Yeah.
And then it went green, and he sat there, and everyone went around him, and he just sat there like frozen.
And
right?
I didn't call the cop. Did you call him? No, we just kind of like.
But he was awake. I mean.
Was he?
I guess he was. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
He
was literally sitting at the stoplight, or when it went red, green, red.
I thought he was, having a.
Ew. But he could have pulled over, or he could have logged out. Ooh, time for the chicken phone. Aha. Okay, we have a caller at 71st Avenue.
Oh, wow.
So this was just before the elections. Said a man was selling campaign merchandise for Donald Trump on the side of the road.
Yeah.
The caller asked the man if he had a permit, to which the man replied, "I have whatever you need."
Oh.
It's the best line ever.
And I gotta find where's the. Oh, I don't know where it is. I like that.
I got your permits here. I got your steak knives. I got your Gucci bags.
If you need a date for tonight, I got a date.
I got your Donald Trump hair pieces. Whatever you want, I got it right here. Caller.
That's a resourceful person.
I'm telling you. Oh, trombone phone. A caller on 23rd Street saw an animal stuck in the ditch behind his house. He couldn't see what it was, but
I think I know. Oh, you have the.
it's like, so he sees this animal stuck in the ditch. He couldn't tell what it was, but whenever he stuck a stick through the fence, the animal snarled and didn't move.
Hello.
Yeah, it's like.
David.
Yeah, it's like no.
Well, I don't understand people it's like the people who are like, oh, it's a grizzly bear. Let me take a photo. It's a wild elk.
Let me climb into the pen.
Let me grab this raccoon. Oh, rabies? I mean, like, come on, people.
He's so cute.
Why are you poking something if you don't know what something is?
I know.
You know.
Could have been a little child snarling. You never know.
All over my phone. You got your
okay?
boogies on it. Yeah, it's all your boogies on my phone.
Okay. Do we have we have another call.
I just deleted something.
But we have a call on the sloth phone.
I deleted something. I know what it is. Okay.
Oh, all right, sorry.
Whatever it is. No, it's a voicemail message.
All right. Oh no! The chicken phone and the sloth phone. Oh, they got tangled. You remember how old phone cords would get tangled up with each other?
Mm-hmm.
The chicken and the sloth have managed to kind of get tangled up in blue here. Well, Oh, they've untangled. Here we go. A caller at a park on 10th Avenue said a woman was sitting by the playground snapping a belt at people as they walked by. Yeah. By the way, this happens in New York all the time. It just happens on the Belt Parkway.
I don't know what I deleted, honey.
Was it the most recent or the most?
I don't know. I have no idea. We have to Zell our friend.
Oh yes, of course, yes. Another call coming in. Okay, I got it. I'll get the other octophone. Here we go. A caller on Beach Avenue was walking along the road and found 10 cell phones in the ditch. Like, all right. Oh, thought that'd be funnier. But why would 10 cell phones be there? They're like
burner phones.
Yeah, right. The burner phones used by the United Healthcare guy. I don't know.
It's scary.
It's scary, but yeah, you gotta admit, the guy had a kind of, not really, but kind of.
How can I figure that out?
I don't know. Does it do undo whatever, or do you have a garbage, or anyway? Caller at a restaurant on 65th Avenue. So a man kept coming into the restaurant each day to call for an ambulance. The last time it happened, paramedics told the caller not to let him inside, and yet he had still returned. Maybe he was just trying to call Uber. Maybe that would be the actual thing. Anyway, let's do it elsewhere. Let's move away from our Greeley Times to, even though we're doing Greeley Times, we do a story every week that is not from Greeley, Colorado. This is from elsewhere on the planet. Could be another state, could be another country. So this is coming to us. I'm going to need my glasses for this. This story comes to us from everywhere. Coming to a city near you, it's Three's Company nostalgia. Specifically, a Mrs. Roper pub crawl. As reported everywhere, including this description, which comes from NPR, National Public Radio. Quote, they are mostly Generation X women, resplendent in colorful caftans, red curly wigs, and clunky 1970s style jewelry. So over the last 2 years, this has happened. These Helens are among hundreds of costumed fans who have cheerfully invaded bars from Seattle to Little Rock to Topeka. So they just go, dressed as Mrs. Roper.
I like that.
From Three's Company. Yeah, they're called Roper Romps.
Oh, I've seen them. They're cute.
Really?
Yeah. They all dress with the wig and the caftan.
Yeah. And they're organized.
How to get I got to get this archive conversation back. I don't know what it was.
Do you want to call the phone company?
No, the phone company.
What? T-Mobile. Just give them a buzz, ask them how to do it. These Mrs. Roper Romps are organized on social media as indelibly embodied by actress Audra Lindley from 1977 to 1984. Helen Roper was a loopy landlady, forever bickering with her husband and doing macrame and flower arranging. So the Romps, I can't believe this, they are as old as my computer. They started in 2013, initially as part of a New Orleans LGBT parade called Southern Decadence. One woman at a recent romp in Ypsilanti told NPR, quote, Helen was comfortable, her own woman. I didn't see any African-American Helens. So I said to my cousins, we might be the only 3 melanin people there, but we're going to go out and represent and have fun. It helps that one Ypsilanti pub on the crawl is called, swear to God, the Regal Beagle, and bills itself as both, quote, queer and anti-fascist. So grab your caftans, ladies and gentlemen. The next Roper Romp is tonight in Wilton Manors, Florida. So, if Jim Flaherty was still living in Florida, he could go, or his daughters could go to join in the Roper Romp. There literally is one happening in Florida. If you missed that one, there's going to be others all year long, all around the country. So cool. So cool. What's that? All right, hold on. I think my wife figured out the message she deleted accidentally from her phone. But we're in the middle of doing Greeley Times. You figured it out. Well done. Oh, no, this is the Roper Rom.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They look cute.
Yeah, they do. And I think some of those are men.
I think Mrs. Roper, wasn't Mrs. Roper a man?
I think you're thinking of the Don Knotts character who was almost a woman. Yes,
she
yes.
like Mrs. Roper.
Yeah. But this made me also think, why do you have to be a pub crawl?
Give me.
I was like, why don't people do
Because
coffee
Mrs. Roper
crawls?
was married to Mr. Roper.
To Mr. Roper, Norman Fell, the great beloved Norman Fell. But I'm saying, why can't they also have like a coffee crawl? You go out in the morning.
Because, David, people would be so high on caffeine and pooping.
Oh, you know.
I would think.
I think you have a point there. I hate that everybody's getting progressively drunker and on alcohol and being noisy and crazy. There's got to be other things where you can just go from place to place to place in a big city, like a bookstore crawl or
You could start one.
I know, right? You know, if I like people, I would. And you can't really do a theater crawl because every show is an hour and a half to 2.5 hours long. You have to start at 10 in the morning.
Well, they have a theater.
Well, fringe festivals are really
Fringe festival.
yeah, they are. They are actually theater crawls. Anyway, let's crawl back to a couple more pieces in Greeley Times. These are phone calls that came into the Northern Colorado Police Dispatch, including a caller at a business on 9th Street. Oh, okay. Who said that a man had been knocking on the door for the past 20 minutes. Now, this was a caller at a business. A man was knocking on the door of a business.
Maybe he wanted to file his taxes and he was late.
Yeah, I mean, this call came in at 10:15 in the evening, so I'm guessing the guy, a little late.
Wrong. Well, maybe it's that kind of business.
Oh.
Maybe he wants to get everything. Remember the guy who had the permits?
Oh, yes.
He's like, maybe that's how he gets his everything.
Hey, I got your keys to open closed businesses right here.
You want a late dinner? Here, I got a note for your wife. What do you want?
Oh, wait, one more, yeah. A caller at an auto parts store.
Oh, wait a minute.
Should have gone there. A caller at an auto parts store on 9th Avenue. Yeah. Wow. Well, check this out. A little bit of flim flam here. He goes to the store on 9th Avenue, reported a customer trying to pay with three fake $100 bills.
Oh, wait, I got that. Hold on, where's that one?
You know what? I think store owners should keep, counterfeit fake. So if somebody hands you counterfeit money, you just give them counterfeit change.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, they have that thing they write on a $20 bill, right? It's like
here's 3 fake 10s. Here's a plug nickel. Here's a
You just go in the back and you draw. You get your kid to draw money, or you go give Monopoly money back.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be very fair. They give you fake money, you give them fake money
but I'm
back.
sure a lot of times during the holiday, it's a good time to do it because they're frenzied.
And you don't have time to do that.
People are just giving,
Yeah. Oh, no, I will tell you about fraud and things like that. When I went, I didn't get to tell you this. I'll do it here in Greeley Times. The computer story. When I went to Best Buy to pick up, because we ordered it online, and I have to go to physically Best Buy to pick it up instead of having them shipped here. Fine. So I get there, and as I'm kind of coming in, there's this older African American lady who's coming in behind me. So I go to wait on the line of the information desk because I'm not sure where to pick up stuff because they've got the Geek Squad over here, the store over here. So I'm waiting on behind some guy who's finishing some business with customer service. And this woman, she just sort of comes in after me. And she, while I'm going out to ask the question, they say, we want to pick up something. And I'm like, here. Going to ask her. And he tells her, thank you. So I beeline over there. And get there before her, fine, and the guy is helping me out, or actually something. I think I let him help her first
Yeah.
because she was just picking up something really quick
Yeah.
and whatever. So she goes up and gets her package, whatever. It takes like a minute. And as she's walking, but he checks her ID and he checks her stuff. And she literally, as she's walking away, she says to the guy, "Make sure you check his ID too." Like there's some race thing going on.
No, she's saying that if you do it for one person, do it for
They
everyone.
do. I'm picking up a laptop. Every white, green, yellow, black, blue person picking up an item has to show ID, which I did, and which I would have done anyway had she not opened her mouth. It's kind of like, this is why Trump won.
No, I think I would feel the same way. It's like when I went to Sweden with Natalie, my friend is Afro-Caribbean, then they stopped her and they were frisking her.
Yeah, I know.
And then they're like, "Oh, you come along too."
Yeah, no, that was
and
wrong.
everybody's like, "Really?"
But I'm picking up like a MacBook Air.
I know.
They checked my
They
ID.
have to check everybody.
Photo
because,
ID. Yeah, they would have anyway, just as they checked hers.
Let her say it. It was just a phrase.
But what was this hostility towards me because she thought I was cutting ahead? She cut ahead of me.
It wasn't hostility toward you. It was hostility toward Best Buy.
Mm.
Because she's saying, "Is this differential treatment?"
It wasn't.
No, but it
wouldn't have
wasn't. It
been.
wasn't to you at all. It wasn't.
I don't know. She was giving me like some stink eye too.
Maybe she liked you.
That could have been. She probably, whatever. It was just this moment of like
What is it?
microaggression that I could have lived without, and nothing to do with Best Buy at all. Nothing to do with the store. And the guy was perfectly great. Everything there was perfectly great. Whatever. Anywho.
You know what? Holidays make people crazy. You know that.
I know. Speaking of belligerent people, a belligerent caller at Fire Station 1, not Fire Station 7, but Fire Station 1. So this call came into the fire department on 10th Avenue. The caller, quote, went on a rant about piggies and investigations.
Everybody has their thing.
Because
It was like your dad and Bush, right?
Piggies.
Everybody's got their trigger. Everybody.
Yeah.
1 second.
No, everywhere there's lots of piggies, but they're living their piggy lives. You can even see them out for dinner with their piggy wives, and they like we do. We clutch forks and knives to eat our bacon. Oh, piggies! Oh, shoot! I dropped.
No, you didn't drop it. I didn't know. I kept my hand.
See,
I never understood. This is not a pig noise, but this is beautiful. I love that sound.
Baby pigs. Baby pigs make that squeaking.
Didn't they squeal like this high?
Honey, please no.
But this I love. This is the sound I make when I don't have phlegm, my own phlegm, when I snorts in the phlegm, when I take it back like that.
You
And then
never make that sound. Please don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a classy show this is.
Classic.
Anyway, the caller went on the rant about piggies and investigations, and the caller would not listen to the call taker before suddenly disconnecting from the call.
Uh-oh.
What?
Well, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm still trying to find out why I don't see you live.
Maybe I'm dead.
No, I normally do. I don't know.
We'll have two more because we do have still a backlog of our. Well, no, we don't. Not that big. All right. This is honestly, get your ears ready. This is a gross out alert. This one's a little rough. A caller on 25th Street said a dog tried getting into a yard and got its mouth stuck on a fence wire.
Oh God.
I don't even want to imagine. I'm just like, oh. I mean, really, that.
Wouldn't that be like the ASPCA people?
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. I don't know who I'd call, but that's an emergency. I would call somebody.
I know you need to call somebody.
It's just, I can't end on that one. I gotta have one more. But speaking of blood and gore,
Yeah.
a caller at an unknown location requested a contact from an officer and said, quote, "Things are gonna get gory
Oh God, that's not good.
if they don't do something this time. I promise you that." And then they hung up. The caller would not give a location
They can find the person.
or say what the call was about.
Yeah, but can't they find the person?
I don't know how long it takes to.
I think what do you call those people? I think law enforcement or like emergency services can track you.
They should. I mean, in all these years of watching these kidnapping and detective shows, they've got to keep the caller on the line for like 45 seconds or something. I don't know if that's still true. I don't know why it's still true. I imagine you should be able to.
They just put you on hold, like, hold on 1 second.
I mean, if somebody calls me and hangs up, I can literally dial them back.
The piggy supervisor will be with you shortly.
Yeah, right. Oh. Anyway, that, my friends, is Greeley Times for this Saturday, December 7th, 2024.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool. I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Oh, my friends, thank you for tuning in to this 970th episode of the Dave's Gone By. Piggy was into it.
Yeah, he was like, well, he heard that call about piggies. He got really, where are pigs mentioned on the show? Never. Potatoes, a lot of other
Chickens, we do.
Chickens a lot, but.
Yeah, and this was all about octopuses this week.
I mean, it's a very.
We have our
What did
sloths.
he say about piggies and what? I'm going to look it up.
Piggies and investigations. Wow. Well, you never know. He might have been on the radio and be a ham operator. Or could have been at.
Oh, they say
tell
that
me.
Fowler and crates are intended to reduce piglet death. They do pig investigation of piglet death. Was he talking about piglet death?
He didn't stay on the phone long enough to explain what he was talking about.
They look at piglet death. You know, like if there's a piglet death.
Yeah.
They investigate that. Compassionate in rural farming.
Oh, so maybe it was there was going to be a bad birth of a pig, and be gory and bloody.
Seems like Greeley would do that at his farming place.
Oh, maybe he was down to like a farmer friend and said, "I'm going to need some blankets," and
he was calling the popo.
Maybe.
That's really weird.
Should have been calling Mission Barbecue. It's like, they're not going to live. They're young and juicy. Come and get them.
David, that's horrific.
I know. Speaking of horrific,
show them the dachshund clips we got last week.
Oh, these are cute. These are part of our splurge for Black Friday and Thanksgiving. Is we got.
I never got my ring.
Yeah, no, we've got to look for that. No, that's coming today. So they say.
I'm excited about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the dog clip
Where do you
bag.
get these? Oh, they're cute. Where do you get the notifications, honey?
Well, we got the ring from Amazon.
I
No,
don't know the ring.
What notifications for?
Notifications for my jacket. Where does that come?
No, I got my email. It's coming today, the 7th.
I'm
So,
looking at that. Let me look.
aren't these great? These are clips for bags and things like that. And my wife and I used to have 2 dachshunds several years ago. So we're still on some level doxy people. Maybe we'll get a dog again someday, or maybe we'll get a little piggy. Or we could get an octopus. Wouldn't you love an octopus swimming around in our bathtub?
I think it would probably kill me.
Or sloth.
Probably.
We have sloths hanging around. Or a chicken. Yeah, we kind of like animals more than we think we do, I think.
He's kind of, he needs he has no spine.
Well, chickens can live without heads. Maybe they can live without
Maybe we should call the guy.
We can get more poos. We can get more baby poops to raise. That would be nice. Anyway, we have more to do on this episode of Dave's Gone By. We still have our Friends of the Neighborhood, and we have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
They want you to confirm the pickup of him, the potty baba.
I already did. I just did it yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
11:06 a.m. Maybe that was yesterday.
Oh, well, maybe I have to answer that and say it was been picked up. So, anyway, we're going to Belcaro, Colorado. Belcaro as our Limerick of the Dam. Before we get to all that, though, ladies and gentlemen, I know this bored the potatoes last week. This is unfortunate, but you know what? You gotta every time I try and teach most stories and essays and things to my English classes where I teach at a couple of universities, half the time it's like if you spend one or two paragraphs on a description, you know, because you're opening up a novel, whether it's by Edith Wharton or it's a short story, if they even have a couple of long paragraphs, they're already tuned out, they're bored. And I was like that too. If I was reading Jane Austen back in the day or Dickens, we were all sitting there in class going like, oh my God, get to the story. And meanwhile, the professor or the teacher was reveling in the language. She's like, don't you understand how beautiful the wording of this, how it's giving you a sense of scene, how he's using all these figures of speech, and we're just get to the goddamn story. And now, for us, it would be like a full chapter or two.
Can I just do this?
Like Thomas Hardy. Yeah, confirm. You know, of Thomas Hardy, because we had to read, I think it was The Return of the Native.
Why don't you like reading long stuff? What's the bad part about it?
When I was in my teens, I didn't. Now I love it. And I listen to books on audio, and I revel in the wording of everything in a way that I just didn't, and the way that teenagers don't now. In a way that they're just kind of like...
Well, I use AI for everything, too. I'm lazy as everything now.
So when potatoes were listening to the H.J. Hines book, as I was reading it last time, they were waiting for Heinz inventing and selling ketchup.
All the potatoes are not happy with it.
I know!
David, he's talking about, they told me he had a pet weasel, he worked in a farm.
I'm a pet weasel.
They don't like it. They're like, where's all of the good stuff?
It takes time. The writer has to build to the good stuff. But convincing potatoes of that, or teenagers of that, is kind of like, they've already clocked out because you spent a paragraph trying to set the scene. Well, they spend 2 chapters here talking about the home life of H.J. Henry Hines. So we're going to go more into this deep, beautiful book by Michael Burgan, illustrated by Stephen Marchese, who was H.J. Hines. We're going to read it for you, a chapter or 2, on this episode of...
Would you mind if I go in the other room and paint my nails?
Oh, story time. Yeah, it's story time. We can, yeah.
Do you need to...
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would, you gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
So this story is dedicated and devoted to the magnificent H.J. Hines, creator of Heinz Ketchup, and there is a book about him where, speaking of hydrocephalic octopus heads, he is given a hydrocephalic head and a bottle that doesn't even look like more like malt vinegar, honestly, because he might have been about. But we'll find that out as we do the book. So to recap, Henry Hines, he was farmer poor. You know, he grew up in like Birmingham. I don't even remember now. On the banks of the Allegheny River. His family had some land though, and they cultivated stuff. They had crops. He started getting his land of his own on the family farm that he tended to, and then he'd raise the crops and then go into town, pull his cart, and sell them. And he got more and more popular and sold more and more. That he was carrying it, then he'd drag it, then he put it on a wagon, then he had to get a donkey on the wagon because he was getting, doing better and better as a business person. So I think, do we do that? No, I don't think we. Yeah, I think we only did chapter 1 last time. So let's do chapter 2 for H.J. Hines' early success. Henry John Hines seemed to work almost non-stop between his father's brick business and his own food sales. In 1861, Henry sold $2,400. That's about 65 grand in today's money worth of produce and his ever popular horseradish. Not too bad for a 17-year-old. Hell, I'd be able to make that now. During his teen years, Henry learned how to preserve food. He would bottle it in jars so it won't spoil. German families like the Heinzes usually had their own recipes for making sauerkraut, horseradish, and pickles at home. In fact, Henry's mother taught him her recipes for pickling when she herself wasn't getting pickled. While horseradish remained his main product, Henry later gained fame for his pickles as well. And Mrs. Heinz also taught him that he should treat all people as he would want to be treated. So he's basically studying Rambam and Rabbi Hillel. Her mother's recipes and beliefs, or Henry's mother's recipes and her beliefs, shaped his growing business. So while he learned valuable lessons from his mom, he also stayed busy with his father's brick-making business. And in 1866, Henry Heinz became a partner in his father's company. Well, he wasn't going to sit still. He started making changes. Now, at the time, most brickyards shut down for the winter. Henry decided to heat the small factory so it could stay open during the cold months. That way, the company would have a supply of bricks ready when the demand rose for them in the spring. Well, Henry was good at the business of making and selling bricks, but his real passion was preparing and selling horseradish. So he combined them and created bricks made of horseradish. No, he did not. I'm making that up. He wanted to do more. In 1869, he and his friend L. Clarence Noble started a company that sold horseradish with a brand name Anchor. For Henry, an anchor stood for something that was solid and could be trusted. He should have probably sold fruitcakes. That's how he wanted people to feel about his product, and as he had before, Henry packaged the horseradish in a glass bottle so people could see exactly the high-quality stuff that they were purchasing. Now, the Anchor name and the clear glass bottles were just two of Henry's efforts to market his products. Marketing is how a company decides to price, distribute, sell, and promote its products, leading to what people like James B. Flaherty do. And Henry wanted to be as good at marketing as he was at raising crops, pickling them, and packaging them for sale. So as before, using the glass bottles highlighted Henry's obsession with quality, and choosing a strong name will create a positive image in the customer's mind. So what did he do? Henry now devoting all his time to growing crops, perfecting recipes, and packaging foods for sale. His company started out in the basement of the Heinz's Sharpsburg home, but it quickly grew and expanded into the entire house, and then the Anchor Company bought the house next door. Well, the region around Pittsburgh was booming, and oil had been discovered nearby. It's a shame it wasn't salad oil, because that would have been a perfect complement. And the city produced more glass than any other in the world. New businesses, iron mills, and factories meant that more workers flocked to Pittsburgh, and the increasing population needed to eat. Heinz and Noble were determined to feed them. And Henry also wanted to expand his business beyond Pennsylvania, so he used the train, here's a train, to ship his products to new markets and to personally meet with salesmen and customers in a growing number of states. Whenever a new rail route opened between Pittsburgh and another city, Henry would hop on the train and look for new business opportunities, while he carried notebooks filled with information on the train schedule. Boring! Sorry, what was that, Potato? Boring. I'm sorry, Potato. It takes time to build a business, to grow a business. He doesn't get, where's the ketchup? It's coming, Potato, I promise. Little aside here about expansion of the railroads. H.J. Heinz was only 8 years old when people in Pittsburgh saw the arrival of the first train from Philadelphia in 1852. Railroads were still fairly new in the United States, but they were growing quickly. So by 1868, companies in and around Pittsburgh provided iron and steel to build the trains and rails, and coal to power engines. Trains carried all sorts of supplies from the East Coast through Pittsburgh and across the U.S. Just a year later, 2 railroad companies finished building the railroad that linked the east and west coasts of the United States. Boring! All right, Potato, I'm going on with the Heinz story. We'll get through this chapter, okay? In 1869, Henry married Sarah Young. Oh no! This is like the romantic part the Princess Bride movie where it's all kissy kissy lovey dovey. Ew! Potato, please. Sarah Young's family had come to America from Ireland, where they had owned a mill. Heinz called his new wife Sally, because men could decide back then what they wanted to call their women. Her name was Sarah, but no, I'm calling you Sally. You're Sally. You're my property. Over the next few years, Sally watched her husband and his partner put the Anchor name on more products, pickles, sauces, even their own vinegar. Because vinegar was the main ingredient in many Anchor condiments, it made sense for the two men to manufacture and sell their own. So in 1872, Heinz and Noble made Noble's brother E.J. a partner, and they renamed the business Heinz, Noble and Company. And the company expanded into Pittsburgh, where they had a factory, a warehouse, and office space. Well, as Henry's company grew, so did his family. Oh, God, more kissy, kissy, sexy, sexy. Sally and Henry. Oh no.
You dropped him.
Oh, my God, this is the most boring. Potato, we're talking about vinegar. Don't you like vinegar? Yeah, it's all right. Okay, and there's vinegar and ketchup, isn't there? Yeah, kind of. All right, so listen close. It gets good. Here we go. So Sally and Henry had a daughter, Irene, in 1871, and 2 years later, a boy named Clarence. And the family still lived in Sharpsburg. Henry took the train back and forth to Pittsburgh for work. At the factory, he kept a close eye on the young women who washed bottles to make sure they didn't break them. Oh, he sounds like a fun boss. Yeah, he was watching all the young women getting, soaking wet, washing the bottles. He's really paying attention to that. Yeah, old H.J. He encouraged workers to give up smoking cigarettes and drinking. It sounds like another Pullman.
Kellogg.
Oh, Kellogg was like that too?
Yeah. Kellogg flakes.
When Henry got home from the factory, he often continued working, doing bookkeeping and writing business letters until late at night. But his hard work and strict standards paid off. By the beginning of 1875, Heinz, Noble and Company had grown tremendously. It grew its own vegetables.
Find a picture for you.
Oh, please. On 160 acres of land in and around Sharpsburg. They opened a factory in St. Louis to make their own vinegar, and they maintained a warehouse stocked with products in Chicago. A magazine reviewing Pennsylvania companies at the time marveled at how quickly the company had grown. The writer noted that Henry's company sold only first-class products. The future looked bright for Henry and his partners.
And I have you wearing the ketchup costume.
Shh, ketchup. Shh, mommy, shh. Yes.
I have the picture of Daddy wearing the costume hat.
I'm sure you do.
Costume.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you do. Indeed, you do. So.
How come even the pictures on my phone are not the same as... I gotta get my OneDrive. It's in my OneDrive.
Yeah, that may be why. Now, we have another sidebar here. Potato, you're going to love this. What is a condiment? Oh, I'm too young to hear about that. No, a condiment. Yes, a condiment. You put it over your wing. No, Potato. Be good, Potato, or I'll stop it. Well, stop the boring book. Potato, I'm going to talk about ketchup. Oh, okay, I'll be good. A condiment is something that is added to food to give it more flavor or improve the taste. Condiments are never the main course, but they can certainly make a meal. Some of the most popular condiments are... Potato, would you like to read this word? Ketchup! See, I told you it'd get good. Mustard, relish, ketchup! Salsa, hot sauce, ketchup! And soy sauce. So, do we have time for another? Let's see, how long is this next chapter? Because Potato... Oh, Potato, yes. You're going to want me to read this chapter, Potato, I promise. Chapter 3, Starting Over. While Heinz and Noble and Company did well during the early 1870s, the United States was facing a business crisis. Oh.
No picture of you with potatoes.
Yeah, I thought you were showing... In 1873, the country entered what is called the Depression. This is not the Great Depression. They have one in the 1870s, a period in which many companies slow down production, lose money, forcing them to cut back on workers or shut down completely. Many people who were out of work looked to the banks for loans, but as the companies struggled, well, banks started offering loans. By 1875, Henry saw that his company faced disaster too. It owed more money than it could afford to pay back. That's called America. He wrote in his diary in April that he could eat no dinner owing to worry and hurry and planning, unquote. So Henry turned to his dad and a friendly local banker who loaned him the money to pay some of the company's bills. Even his wife, Sally, pitched in, giving Henry some of her own money. Still, the company went deeper into debt. And by the year's end, oh my God, did you know they went bankrupt?
No.
It was like Donald Trump there. It shut down for good. It could not pay the money they owed. So Henry felt that most of the business people he knew had abandoned him. I feel very sad, he wrote, as though I had not a true friend in the world. And the Noble brothers seemed to blame Henry for the company's struggles. They refused to invest any more of their own money. Henry's family, though, stuck by his side. And he also had a deep faith in God to help him get through the tough times. He was not going to give up. He would not leave the business he loved. Boring. It's not boring, Potato. Are you talking about ketchup? No, I'm not yet talking. It's boring. On New Year's Day, 1876, you married me. On New Year's Day, 1876, Henry asked his family to help him start a new business. His brother John and his cousin Frederick agreed, and Sally once again provided some of her own money. Because his first company had gone bankrupt, Henry could...
Just hold this up when you're talking.
Yeah.
Just talk.
It gets good now. It gets so good.
Just inhale and watch that, yeah.
It gets so good.
They call it tomato ketchup at Heinz. It's tomato ketchup.
Because, back in the day, they made it with like fish paste and vinegar and other things. Remember K-Caps? Well, we'll see. But anyway, this is interesting.
It's amazing how that one brand rose to dominance.
For years.
Look for potato, they have a lot of turkey and gravy if he wants gravy.
Well, we missed it for the holidays.
Yeah.
Did they have spotted dick?
57. Au Juste, apple cider.
Apple, what?
Carolina mustard sauce. Yeah, they have Heinz.
Oh, so apple cider sauce, yeah.
Carolina sweet tangy barbecue. Heinz chili sauce.
Yeah.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Mandarin orange miso crunch sauce.
Mandarin orange
miso.
Oh, miso crunchy. Orange what?
I don't know. I'm reading it for you, babe. I know you like that.
I'll bet that's good. No, they got these things that they do in England.
Yeah.
I wasn't kidding. They do spotted dick. Marmite, yeah. And if you've ever had a spotted dick, I would definitely call your health provider.
It's like buy product. It says buy the product or share the product link. Relish.
Oh, I relish that.
Thyme gravy, brown gravy, a lot of gravy. Honey sriracha, Heinz 57. India relish.
Ooh, that's probably very hot. I'll bet it's good. All these things I'm sure are really good.
Jalapeno ketchup, Kansas City. They have malt vinegar. Mayonnaise and ketchup. Mayonnaise, ketchup, and mustard. Mayonnaise, ketchup, and sriracha.
Oh, remember mayo, must, and all that?
They have those.
Mayo chup and
barbecue sauce, pickle flavored ketchup.
Pickle flavored ketchup?
Yes, potato. Look.
You know, we probably saw this somewhere and it was too cheap to get it, and now I want it.
Well, because if you put it on a hamburger or something,
Yes.
Let's see what it says. It says with pickle seasoning. It's bold.
Yes.
Pickle lovers rejoice. This thick and rich Heinz ketchup you love now packs a punch with pickle flavor.
You know, you're making fun, but that is a really big deal. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I gotta get back there.
Yeah.
Well, I hate when they say load more. It's like when I order Mommy's groceries, I have to get one It
Yeah.
puts 10 items and it's like load more, load more.
I have to do that on Blackboard.
I hate it.
All my files and my folders, when I have to go down and it's lower in the alphabet, it's like, here are the,
Oh,
these aren't all the readings,
Here's
load
a pack
more.
of
Yeah.
tomato relish, the whole thing. They have a lot of barbecue sauce
They
now.
do.
Oh, they have ketchup blended with chipotle, ketchup blended with habanero, ketchup blended with veggies. They might like that.
No, they won't. I
And no
won't.
salt, no sugar.
Yeah.
And then cocktail sauce.
Yes, sir. And you haven't even hit the beans.
No,
They do all
I'm
these
only looking at
beans.
ketchup.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to look at beans or
Well, no, it's okay.
products?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They want me to shop gravy, apparently. Everyday meals, entertaining. It's mostly ketchup. They don't have the beans here.
Where's the spotted dick?
I'm somehow in
That's-
the ketchup section.
Oh, well, good. Well, good. Stay there. Stay there. Gabby.
I'll go to products. Oh, let's see Heinz Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Heinz Canada, how fancy.
They open with a video.
Here. It's
They're
fancy.
showing a commercial, basically. Oh, that's what's his name? Isn't that singer, the redhead? No.
No. That's all the people have Heinz numbers. Look, she stole from a restaurant like you did, like a hotel. See, look, it's going to show you all the people.
Oh.
What's that? Ketchup.
Oh, God.
Watch. See, he's at a restaurant, fancy restaurant, and he puts Heinz on the steak. See? And then, oh, look, a tattoo, see?
Yeah, they keep showing the thing over. But no, the tattoo, remember, it's
Ed
that
Sheeran.
very famous Ed Sheeran, yeah. Ed Sheeran has a tattoo of a ketchup bottle on his arm.
Ketchup, yeah.
My favorite singer.
What does he sing, Potato? Name a song.
Potato, 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 potato,
Would you like to hear a story about Heinz, Mr. Heinz?
Well, we're telling the story. Yeah. All right. Potato. Now remember, where we are at in the story,
Let's say discovering what's new.
Heinz almost didn't make it, Potato. Heinz almost, they went bankrupt. They had to start a whole new company. And he couldn't even be the
Crab
CEO.
cakes need ketchup.
Crab? What? Oh, no, yeah.
You're saying you should put ketchup in your crab cakes.
Yeah, it would. It would work. I get that. Ketchup goes with almost everything.
They want you to squeeze. Oh my God. Look at this woman. She has organizer ketchup packets. That's what we should get for you. Yeah. Here, look, show them.
Show me.
It's
Look
the-
at it.
She's
Oh!
organizing her ketchup packets and all the packets.
Well,
See?
there's it's mustard also, so it's all her. Oh, wait. What's this guy doing?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
Clicky Bob.
All right. So, Heinz went into a new company, but he couldn't be the owner. He couldn't be the CEO because he had gone bankrupt, not legally. But
Oh, look at their Facebook page.
oh, how beautiful! Oh, how beautiful! Oh.
Okay, Potato, let Daddy tell the story.
No, I
Yes,
want
can
to just
we get it?
look. All right.
You saw it. Now have Daddy tell the story. You'll learn.
Heinz, Henry, had to be just an employee of this company because he couldn't, legally, having gone bankrupt, couldn't own a company of his own anymore. He was just another worker, being paid $125 a month. But the family understood that the new company called F&J Heinz Company really still was Henry's. So already back then, it was like only little people pay taxes, only like the unlucky, unwashed rest of us actually have to follow the rules. Henry was like, hey, I'm just an employee. I'm only an employee. Don't even think of me. Put that down. Do the books. But he had the business skills and the right contacts.
Oh, they can personalize the Heinz bottle. We should have got that for Potato. It
For my
says
birthday. Oh, for
special
Potato.
sausage. I think it's already over.
Oh,
You want to see it here?
I remember him doing that years ago.
Show the people.
Oh. I could just write anything on it. This is like a 4-second
Okay,
video.
I'll
It's just a
take
clip
it.
of it. Yeah. All right. So, Henry would do the hard work needed to make people trust the Heinz name once again. Yeah. What have you got?
What is this?
It's a phone.
They're in front of a place, but it's all ketchup.
What?
No, it's okay.
Mommy, you're speaking my language.
Oh, they have, look at this.
I mean, what? What?
You can draw on the little real-time coloring thing for kids with like tomatoes and stuff. That's cute. Oh, honey, look. That's him growing his seedlings. Look.
Oh!
See?
Oh my God!
See,
That
they
is the
like
most
that.
adorable thing ever!
They like that, see?
Oh, I love it!
That's the story Daddy's telling you about the seedling
Oh.
babies.
This was Heinz's new company.
Okay, but now let Daddy
He
tell
would
us.
make babies.
No. He would make
He would get behind Sally when she was on all fours.
Seedlings or babies. Oh, look at this one.
What the hell is that? Oh, no.
Okay.
Don't show him that.
Okay. Just
What
show
was
it.
it? Don't look, Potato. Don't look. All right. So, Henry did the hard work to make people trust the Heinz name once again. And the whole family pitched in. His mother and sisters bottled horseradish in the basement of their home, just as Henry had done the years before. And with his new company, Hung, do you want to read this?
Look at this as a fashion pin. It's a ketchup splurge.
Hung, I'm getting a little help here. Can you read the next part of it while I drink some water and...
I'll get you some.
Yeah, or, no, come on, you gotta read,
I can't just take a break, and I can't, David. It's your show.
But this is the most
I will
important
not, I
thing.
will not. It's
You
your
don't have to
show.
come on camera.
No,
Wait,
it's your show.
All right, hold on. This is it. This is Potato. Are you ready? Potato, here it is. With his new company, Henry Heinz, also introduced a brand new product. Yes. Ketchup. Also spelled C-A-T-S-U-P, catsup, had been popular for several decades in the United States. Like preparing horseradish, making ketchup at home was hard work. It took a full day to make one batch, so Henry told his customers that buying his product instead of making their own would save them a lot of time. So look, there's a sidebar, Potato. Check out the sidebar, all about ketchup. This is the best book ever. See, I told you to say that. All right. Americans love their ketchup, but the first sauces...
They have a lot of images with him.
Oh, yeah. You know, and my wife and I knew this. The first sauces with the name came from Vietnam and China. The word, here we go. Oh, God. Oh. The Red Hat Brigade. Look him. He is my God. He is my God, my Jesus, and my Hitler.
Oh, look at this one here. It's a funnier one.
There he is. Look at him. It's like a Terry Gilliam-esque cartoon there. So, Americans...
Who knew he would be so popular on social media?
I would. Now, the word ketchup comes from a Chinese word, ketchup, which is a type of fish sauce. Perhaps as early as the late 1600s, British traders in Asia tasted the local ketchup and tried to recreate it at home. The Asian sauces had contained fish. British recipes included things like walnuts, mushrooms, and oysters.
Oh, wow. Real oyster?
Really, yeah. Nothing like the tomato ketchup that Henry J. Heinz's company made famous. Tomatoes first appeared in ketchup in the 1800s, the version that we know today.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, vinegar, sugar, spices, and salt was first sold in 1876. Gabby, I think I'm going to need one of those condiments. I got really, really excited. Oh. He just leaked a little vodka there. Thanks to Henry's hard work, the new company was growing and making money. His success must have been a comfort when Sally and Henry had their third child in 1877, a child they named Howard. And soon after, Henry rented a house for the growing family near the company's Pittsburgh factory. So, one more bit of this chapter. As the F&J Heinz Company grew, Henry fulfilled the promise he had made to himself when he started it. He would pay back his share of the debt, that he and the nobles still had not repeated. He certainly got Donald Trump. He considered it his duty. Paying, I said duty, paying all the money he owed also helped regain the trust of the banks. With that trust restored and quality condiments to sell, Henry's company was ready to keep growing. End of chapter 3 of Who Was. And, oh God, you gotta keep reading. No, Potato, we're gonna save some more for next week so we can no, tell me more now. No. But Potato, next week, will you come back and read more next week to me about Heinz and tomatoes and ketchup and Heinz? I will, as you wish. Potato is very, very happy now because we've talked about.
There are some highs and lows for him,
Yeah, man, this book is a ride. I gotta tell you.
That is true. It's got highs.
At first, I thought it was shit, but now it's good. Now it's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, that for this Saturday morning on Dave's Gone By was story time. Hello. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, story time here on Dave's Gone By. Oh my God, it's almost, we got a few minutes until noon already. Ladies and gentlemen, where has the time gone? We still have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned to do. I can't believe it, so much, and we haven't even yet done our Friends of the Neighborhood.
Oh, that's about 20 minutes.
And we got to do Bunyan Watch, so we'll do that right after the Friends.
Say Bunyan Watch till next.
You think I should say Bunyan Watch?
It's too much for people.
But I have the octa measurer because his head is kind of like a bunyan.
They're here for good. They come back next week.
That's true. Okay. So next week,
By
Bunyan.
Next week we may have a third.
Man, that could happen.
I'm putting it on the list.
Yeah. Any cute. Okay, so let's do our Friends in the Neighborhood. These are people who have been on this program, whether it was, what do you need? Your phone. My phone. Oh, these are folks who have been on our program, whether it was 20 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 weeks ago. We keep posted. We let you know what these friends, what these family of the program are busy doing. We call it the Friends of the Neighborhood. And we have some music under it too. Of course, that's Kirchel number 45A, Alte Lambach, in case you were wondering. So here are what some of our friends are up to. First of all, we want to wish as Rabbi Saul would say, a refuah shlema, a get well soon, to our friend Bill Kirchenbauer, our comedy friend. He was going in a crosswalk and hit by a car. He spent the night in a hospital, but seems okay.
What happened?
He got hit by a car.
In New York or where?
I forget where he lived. I don't know if he's in Cali or somewhere else in the country.
It's horrible.
That happened to David Short a couple of years ago. He was hit by going to school. Yeah. So, but he posted from the thing going into the operating room, the X-ray room maybe. I hope he's okay. I think he's okay.
Say his name?
Oh, Bill Kirchenbauer, K-I-R.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, sure.
I'll look for
Yeah, let's see, because this was from a couple of days ago. Actually, I could just see his Facebook page.
I'm looking B-I-L-L, right?
Yeah. How's he doing?
I don't see anything.
Well, it wasn't in the news. He posted it on his Facebook page.
This is his Facebook page.
Really? That's his pinned post. Was he in Thailand? Okay, here he is. Going into the.
God, let me see that.
Yeah, but if he's still posting other fun things, then he's okay.
Mm.
But that was him just getting checked out to make sure that he was all right after being hit by a car like last week. So, but I guess he's okay.
Yeah,
Oh, but scroll up again for the Christmas one because he did post something very, very funny.
His food at the... Here's the first one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It says, I was hit by a woman in a car while crossing a crosswalk. Hurt my head. Stayed overnight for observation.
Overnight. Wow. So I guess
If
they
you start
observed him.
scrolling up, you'll see him. We have some lasagna. Someone brought him lasagna. I don't know who did that,
But he's.
and scroll up, you'll see lasagna.
All right, hold on. Yeah, no, he likes the most fun things. So here's Bill. Hospitals. He looks good. I mean, considering he got hit.
You see lasagna?
I
Give it to me.
can't. Yeah.
You can't use a phone, David. What are you, 175?
Yes, I'm 60. That's 170 in tech years.
So he's showing someone brought him lasagna.
Oh, cool. But keep scrolling to more
Here,
recent
here's him.
because it's kind of fun. He has a thing that of like they would see on Leno's headlines and things.
Why do you have everything muted? I can't access. He's talking here.
Oh, he's still talking to the hospital?
Everyone. This is Bill Kirkenbauer in the hospital bed.
He looks good.
The
Yeah.
hospital's name is Vimut. Vimut. It's Vimut. Oh, here it is right here. See? The logo. Vimut. I haven't been to this hospital before. I've been to other ones. I'll take the glasses off. I don't need them.
He's usually
So-
funnier than this.
Here, before I get into the ugly part, let me reverse.
Oh, he's going to show the room. Wow.
Oh, not
big.
that's a hospital?
Yeah.
Is he in Thailand?
I don't know.
Bed over there for a relative to sleep on if you want.
Look at that. That's one. Look at that
Private room.
That's like a studio in Manhattan.
It's got a refrigerator,
Look At
Jesus!
that. Look at the TV.
smart TV,
It is Thailand.
It's got a table.
microwave,
Go, come on.
and a nice big bathroom around the back.
And probably costs $25 a day.
And that's what it looks like. There's a table over there, some sort of gift box. Welcome to the
Here's
hospital.
your appendix.
It's like a hotel,
It is.
which it ought to be. You know?
That's it.
Yeah.
A hospital room like this is like $300 a day,
Considering.
which is about a tenth of probably what it is in the United States, even in a shitty hospital.
He's right.
He's you.
He's not even Jewish. Oh, he's coughing up phlegm. He might be Jewish.
I was walking down the street.
No, no.
That's like the start of a joke.
Might be Lynn. Oh, it's a nurse. Oh, you're gonna bring me food. All right. Come, come,
Show
come.
the food.
Yes.
So they cook the rice in a rice cooker.
I want to see what he eats.
Okay.
He can't show his
Oh,
Oh, it's in Thai. Yeah. Bottled water. Okay, not bad.
I think this is a menu of what. This is,
If we sell this house, can we go live in that hospital?
I wonder, it's in Thai though,
this
right?
menu for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Is it Tagalog? No. That's
Well, I don't know what
Oh,
they-
morning. Oh, okay.
Lucky she speaks some English.
Okay, what do I have to sign this?
That he received it. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Maybe give him a tip. I think he has to pick one. She's telling him pick one.
Oh, it's a menu. That's
She's
right.
saying pick one.
Yeah.
Because they have two things with a little thing, and he's just signing it.
Yeah.
Fruit roll up. Okay. This one here.
But she's already brought him the food.
That's for tomorrow.
Oh, it has English translation on the side of it.
Steamed rice. Probably won't be that good. Okay, I'll do the kanji.
Kanji. Ugh. Yeah, it's a hospital. If they're serving kanji, it's a hospital.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah. No wonder my friend Jeff likes to be in Thailand. Look at her.
I mean, yeah.
I hope not here this long.
He has to pick for a couple days.
how long is this video?
Okay. Come.
I want to see what the food is.
So,
Well, there's more kanji, I think. That looks like it. Or rice.
this is not an international hospital. Okay. Back to where we were going. Since I signed for my food. So I was walking down the street, and I was crossing a driveway, a big, wide, 35, 40-foot driveway coming out of a hospital. It had a crosswalk on it from one side of the sidewalk to the other on the main street. And this woman, looking at the traffic, which to them is coming from the right, they drive in the left here. She was looking over here, not looking forward. And she was, when I entered the crosswalk, she was like 30, 40 feet away. And I got about a third of the way across,
He's not dead.
and she kept coming.
Oh, God.
And she hit me.
God.
And I went down on my left side, hit my head,
Oh, God.
and you know how that thing when you hit your head, your brain kind of
Yeah.
that. And Lynn was with me; she was behind me. Better I get hit than her, because this would have hurt her a lot worse than me. So I got up and I grabbed the woman's car.
Wow.
While she was in it, and I threw it. Picked it up and I threw it about 60 feet.
What?
Her car?
That's a lie.
Oh, well. Sorry.
It's not a joke.
No, Lynn said I lost consciousness for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But you know how when you hit your head, you get that boing, 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 boing
You?
kind of thing, and so I have
I've got a big concussion.
a big thing on the back of my head, a bump,
Yeah.
and
You should have run him over.
my hip hurts a little bit, and I really didn't get much damage from the car. What I got
You
was
hit the
damage when I hit
ground.
the street on my
Yeah.
left-hand side. The other side was she hit me.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
I don't know why he's not.
he shouldn't be on a lot of drugs or meds there.
I mean, he's good. He's doing
Yeah.
good. I mean, if I got hit by that.
So anyway, get well soon to
And
our.
someone brought him lasagna. I don't know why.
I guess you can bring things into Thai hospitals. Someone brought him a hookah pipe, you know. Right? So Refuah Shlema, I'm sure he's out of the hospital and doing much better, which is great. So hey to Bill, and we also have to extend our condolences, is the right, or sympathy condolences, but not on a death. But we want to shout out to our great good friend Ronald Rand, who is an actor. He's been acting.
Yeah, what's going on with everybody?
End of the year, bad things tend to happen. But this is actually a little while ago. Ronald Rand is fine, physically fine. He's okay. But he had moved from New York to Asheville, I guess, North Carolina, a while back. And then Asheville had bad weather a few months ago, weeks ago. Bad hurricane-like, flood-like weather. And so Ronald had the main body of his life's work stored in like a U-Haul storage facility in Asheville, North Carolina. Or is it north or south? I don't know. Anyway, the flood came and didn't destroy his house. It destroyed the storage area, the containers, the compartments where he and bunches of other people, I guess, kept their stuff. So he says in his Facebook post that he lost 90% of his archives and his possessions in the U-Haul facility in Asheville that just got slammed by this flood. So he's okay. He's physically fine, and he's fine in a lot of other ways, but he lost his archives from 60-something years of acting. His newspaper, he put out, and has put out for like 30 years, a newspaper called Soul of the American Actor, which it comes out like 4 times a year, I think, and his interviews with directors and actors about the process of acting. And just all the interviews, the tapes he's done, the I'm sure playbills and stage bills of things he was in or things he went to see. His life's stuff, as George Carlin would put it, the place for his stuff was destroyed, and he salvaged maybe 10%. But he wants to keep the newspaper going, Soul of the American Actor, and as a hard copy thing, I guess, not just on the interwebs. So if you want to make a donation to Ronald Rand, he has a GoFundMe page. So it's Ronald R-A-N-D, Rand, like Rand McNally, and please do. So it's GoFundMe.com. Look for Ronald Rand and help him get his long-running Actors newspaper, which is backed by a lot of fairly famous people who have written for it and who've given him compliments on it. Soul of the American Actor. You can actually go to soulamericanactor.com to find out more about that. He hasn't updated the site in quite a long time. He hasn't put any real new stuff on it. So he's probably let it slide a little bit, but he really wants to get it back up and going, and with our help he can. So again, a big shout out to both Bill Kirchenbauer and Ronald Rand from us in the neighborhood. I want to let you know that tonight, Carol Demas is part of the Grease reunion. Not the Grease movie, Grease the show, when it opens off-Broadway. Yeah. It's part of the Urban Stage's Winter Rhythms Festival that's happening on West 30th Street this evening. And hey, if you are in East Chicago, Indiana, not Chicago, Illinois, East Chicago, Indiana, go see Tim Cavanaugh, our wonderful, funny, songwriting comedian friend. He's playing, and I kid you not, at a venue called Big Frank's Sausage. That sounds more Chicago than Indiana, but it's Indiana. Big Frank's Sausage, that is tonight, December 7th, with Tim Cavanaugh. And then today and tomorrow, Michael Colby's Holiday Regards is also part of the Urban Stage's Winter Rhythms Festival in New York. Tomorrow, Karen Ziemba and bass player Jay Lenhart are part of Happen to Like Cole Porter. That's being done at Dizzy's Club, which is part of Lincoln Center. Zalman Mlatek, who is the artistic director of Folksbiene, the Yiddish theater, more than 100-year-old Yiddish theater. Zalman was on our show a couple of years ago. Well, they've been raising money for the Folksbiene. They're streaming their gala concert for the next, starting this week, from the 10th through the 13th of this week. Free streaming of the concert. Go to nytf.org. NY, New York, TF for Folksbiene, .org to watch. And of course, there'll be places where you can donate. Gretchen Cryer is doing an industry concert of a musical called About Time from Richard Maltby and David Shire. They are the folks who created Closer Than Ever and a couple of other musicals. Their newest one that they're trying to bring, presumably on or off Broadway, is called About Time, and they're doing a concert of it. It's from Out of the Box Theatrics at 154 Christopher Street, happening from the 10th through the 13th this week. And then on the 11th, Stephen Bringberg is doing the Simply Barbara Holiday Show. That is also part of the Urban Stage's Winter Rhythms Festival on 30th Street. Starting on December the 11th, Adam Pascal has stepped into Drag the Musical at New World Stages. Adam Pascal, of course, was in the original Rent and on Broadway in Aida. Now he's doing Drag the Musical off Broadway at New World Stages. David Pace, our wonderful friend in Utah. David Pace is reading from his book, American Trinity. That is happening at the Logan Library if you happen to be in Utah on Thursday, December 12th. And that same night, Thursday, Eleanor Risa is chatting with Zalman Mlatek at the Museum of Jewish Heritage in Battery Place, New York City, as part of the Letters Project book that she wrote. On Friday, the 13th, Carolyn Montgomery is part of New York Croons for Christmas. It's a concert at the New York Irish Center in Long Island City, New York. Now, through the middle of December, it's Leah Forster doing That's Yentertainment at Theater for the New City. Ken Ludwig has adapted Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile, and they're doing it at Arena Stage in Washington, D.C. through the end of the month. Julie Halston is on Broadway in Our Town. It's funny that Jim Flaherty was just talking about being in a production of Our Town in Connecticut. Well, you can see Julie Halston on Broadway doing Our Town too. Aladdin has music by Alan Menken, and that is on Broadway. K.T. Sullivan is at the Algonquin on Tuesday evenings. Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks are at Birdland on Monday evenings. And Michael Guerin plays the Roxy Hotel in Tribeca Tuesdays through Saturday evenings. And hey, don't miss Jim Caruso's cast party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets at birdlandjazz.com. Evan Seplow is the founder and editor of StageBuddy.com. Check that website out for New York nightlife. Who else? David Sheward writes for TheaterLife.com, CulturalDaily.com, and TotalTheater.com. Leslie Hoban Blake and Charlie Gross co-host Two on the Aisle, available on YouTube. Vicky Quaddy does Late Night Catechism and other funny shows at the Greenhouse Theater in Chicago and elsewhere in Chicago. Tony Orlando is on the radio Saturday nights with Tony Orlando on WABC Radio in New York. And you can hear Carol Miller on New York's Q104.3 FM weeknights from 7 to midnight. And those, my friends, are the friends of the neighborhood. La 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 la, la 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 la. I want some Thai congee.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll get it. Well, you have the rice cooker.
Yes, I'm gonna make some congee. I did have congee one time. I was not impressed. I think it had bits of eel in it. There's like eel or some kind of seafood congee. And I was like, it was like weird gelatinous oatmeal mush with bits of fish. Just not. But anyway, we are Dave's Gone By. This is our 970th episode of the show.
Daves and we are going by.
We are going by. We are almost done with the episode. As we said, we're doing Bung In Watch next week. Maybe we'll have the phlegm next week. I didn't actually cough up productive phlegm on the episode. I apologize. Yeah. But something that I will do is our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Because we do have one more item. But yes, this one's going to be, it's going to be dirty. Oh, it's going to be filthy, dirty, and awful. But that's why we do them. Ever since my wife and I lived in northern Colorado, I took it upon myself to write poems about all these different places in Colorado. Whether it's the very famous cities you all know, or these little ghost towns that don't even exist anymore. If I can rhyme it, I'm going to make the time for it. So, yes, this week we go to Bel Caro, Colorado. Ever heard of it? It's actually just a little neighborhood in Denver called Bel Caro, Colorado. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to do our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain,
So Bel Caro, Colorado, I love that, is a very, very kind of a wealthy Denver neighborhood of about 4,000 people. It's near Cherry Creek. Colorado Senator Lawrence Phipps years ago had a mansion there that he nicknamed Bel Caro, so hence the name of the whole, because he helped develop the whole town back in the 1920s and 30s. Phipps helped develop the land of Bel Caro with big ranch-style houses and tree-lined streets. It's a really nice place. It even has a gated community called the Polo Grounds. So I checked on Zillow in case we ever want to move to Bel Caro. And houses range from about $2 million to $7 million.
Oh, my lamb fell. Oh, it's my little lamb.
Some are cheaper, but most are not. So Bel Caro, Colorado, for our Colorado limerick of the damned. And I do warn you that if you have children in the room, this may not be the best time for them to be in the room. Our Colorado limerick of the damned. Are you ready? Are you ready there?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes.
I dated a girl in Bel Caro whose pussy was already. I'll start again. I dated a girl in Bel Caro whose pussy was shaped like an arrow. I pulled and I stretched. She cried and she kvetched. But damn it, her cunt was too narrow. Yes. She's so proud. If you have any complaints, please send them to davesgoneby at AOL.com. davesgoneby at AOL.com. I try and read everything that comes in. You can also message me on Facebook or post your messages under the programs. Dave's Gone By is the Facebook page, of course. Dave's Gone By at AOL.com, the email address. Radio Dave 2 is our Facebook page, is our Twitter feed, or our X feed, if you will. We're not on Blue Sky yet. I don't know if we will. Are you really? Yeah, so, and then we do have an Instagram page, which is david.lefkowitz, I'm pretty sure. And then don't forget that Rabbi Sol Solomon is at shalomdammit.com, and his Twitter handle is at Rabbi Sol Solomon. Don't forget also that our archives are at davesgoneby.com. Archive.org has a channel with us. YouTube has a Dave's Gone By channel. Castbox.fm has a Dave's Gone By channel as well. And one more website, davelefkowitz.org, is the place not for the radio show or for the podcast show, but for all my written work. Like they just published 2 weeks ago, a week ago, my interview with Lydia Bastianich in Long Island Woman. So you can now read that on my website, davelefkowitz.org. And you can see the cool cover that they did for the hard copy for Long Island Woman as well. So do check it out, davelefkowitz.org. All right, well, it is, oh my God, it's 20 after 12. How did that happen? Eastern time here in the neighborhood where we reside Saturdays 9 until noonish or thereabouts, doing humor, talk, interviews, and whatever else. And boy, we've certainly done whatever else today. And on the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. We expect to be here next week, possibly with an off-Broadway actress. We're trying to work something out there. But if not, we'll still be here on the 14th of December with our 907, oh my God, my legs.
Oh no.
My 971st episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. With me, my wonderful, lovely, amazing, and very, very helpful, oh God, wife. And all of you watching at home, please tell your friends about the show. Please share. Again, if you're interested in aging or in advertising and you enjoyed our interview with Jim Flaherty, go to his website, jamesbflaherty.com, but also tell folks about this program. Show them that they can watch it at any time, as well as joining us on Facebook on Saturday mornings. That's how we get new people. That's what keeps us going. So have a fine, fabulous week. Memories and condolences to those who lost folks all the way back on December 7th, 1941, which, let's face it, that day cost us a few planes and a few people, but then it cost us thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But it got us into World War II, which we really needed to be in anyway. So it is a day that will live in infamy and INFAYOU. I'm usually in it for me. But you can see me next Saturday, same time, same Dave place, same Dave station, and gone by.
Days gone by, days gone by, days gone by.
Daddy, will you read me the catch-up story off the air? No, Daddy's got to go get food, and we got. Daddy, will you please read me this? All right, maybe later. Maybe later. That means yes. Thank you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy. I love you, Mommy. I love you, everybody. I love you, H.J. Hines. I live to serve. See you next time.